All right, we are live.
Oh,
Look at that seamless transition. I think it actually worked. I didn't have us not live, and we got a little bit of a new layout. What do you
we
guys
do.
think?
I think that you did a fantastic job laying out us. You laid us out really nicely.
I did what I could.
Yeah.
I this is the purist in me. I was playing these NES games and I had the ratio turned up to like modern resolution. That didn't feel right, so I turned it down to to the 4:3 aspect ratio to
We're also going to run the stream in
better.
480p, just so it feels more natural for you.
Oh, that'd be a good idea.
480i, Brandon.
I'm
480i.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Crack my
Still
liquid
got a
death.
turn.
We did not have progressive scan monitors with the Nintendo.
Yeah, and I liked it better when you weren't so progressive, but whatever. We got to deal with what we got.
Hey, man. Keep being the anchor of the group, man. That's fine. The anchor
That's
to
what I'm here
progression.
for.
So
I'm here to make it difficult for you to move forward.
we are live. We're doing this thing again, I guess. Welcome to the Save Point Society stream. We've got myself, which I guess that's all you need to know. And then we've got Brandon, who's going to be your fact checking tonight. Yeah.
It's all glowy. He's in
That's
a
the one.
glowy room.
Okay. I like. Brandon has a lot of nice stuff in the background. I like
does.
to
That's the
look at
power of truth behind
Yeah.
me, is what that is.
We should.
And
do that,
then
Brandon.
we've got Sean, who's going to be hanging out with us, and he's just kind of chatting and chucking the chat. And then
Be me.
Dr. Max is going to be playing more Castlevania tonight. He kind of jokingly said that you'd be doing the entire Castlevania anthology, and you seem to be proving me correct.
Yeah. I mean, at least I'm starting off strong. There's a lot of games though, and I don't have all the retro systems, so I feel like this trail is going to go cold at some point. But at least for now, I'm enjoying. And this game, I have never really played this game before, to my knowledge.
Yeah.
Before I worry everybody, I did look into it a bit. So I'm not playing this completely cold. I am aware generally of how this game works, and I know that it's not intuitive, and so I've looked up some stuff so that hopefully it's not just endless misery fest. But it's interesting that it's almost kind of an open world game in a time when they really didn't have those. And this is a really seems like a really divisive game. A lot of people either like it or really don't like it, and I don't know where I fall yet. We'll find out.
I did actually own this game as a kid.
Ooh.
I had this on NES. I don't remember much about it. I do remember not getting very far in this game. And I'm not sure if that was just because I was like, I don't know, 6, maybe 7, and didn't really understand it, or what the deal was. But
my understanding from my cursory research is that if you were just playing this game cold and you had no idea of how it worked
back in the day, in the wood panel TV,
Right.
with the turn knobs.
Yep. If you just bought this, if your parents bought you this game and you plugged it in, you just press play and you went after it, I can see from my research that you'd be able to wander around in the game for a while, but you would have no idea how to go further in the game, because my understanding is that when they did the translation and stuff of all the language from Japanese to English, it did not go smoothly, and so there's a lot of text errors. And all these townspeople are supposed to give you these clues, and they don't, because it's just not accurate at all. And so it's all broken English, and they're like clues that don't mean anything. And so you would have to have a friend who had like Nintendo Power that would have all the insider tips and maps and stuff to like tell you how to do it. And there's certain places where you come to a dead end. If you have no idea what's happening, you're just going to sit there forever and be frustrated, because it's the NES and doesn't care about your feelings.
I wonder how long it took someone to beat this game, like, first overall. It's like the translation was so messed up. Like, there was no internet back in the day. You had to either like wait for the Nintendo Power or like know some like insider.
Right. You'd have to fly to Japan and ask somebody how to beat it.
And to assuage any fears, we preemptively have a walkthrough open and ready to go. So we saw into the future, and it's just an in case. I'm not going to feed Max any information until he grows frustrated and he needs help.
Yep, it's probably
So
gonna happen, but
he's going on an adventure.
yeah,
Yes.
I think it should be less stressful than the last game. The last game was stressful.
Ask
How so?
Corbin.
It was a
You
little
seem
bit
so
stressful.
relaxed.
It was a little bit stressful.
I was positive you told us that Castlevania was your comfort game, Max. Am I mistaken?
It's kind of becoming it though. I'm like getting better at it, and
Fantastic.
yeah, it's kind of getting there. It's growing on me. And as Drana says, we're all going on an adventure. We're going on a quest. Going on.
And a couple other pieces
Simon.
of
Dr.
news. Just
Max.
We're
to,
gonna go on Simon's Quest.
yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
To get this out of the way, our beloved Colorado Avalanche were eliminated from the playoffs, so we won't be giving you any more hockey updates. I know that's why you
Where's
tuned into
the
this
hour
channel.
come in?
How about them Nuggets, though?
Yeah. But just to let you know, that's we won't be forcing hockey down your throat anymore. We promise.
Yeah,
Only
so
basketball
there's-
now.
probably something.
Yeah.
Instead, we're gonna force Castlevania down your throat.
Correct.
We are. And if you,
Those type of balls.
I,
A
don't, I
much more
can't believe I'm
pleasant
gonna say this.
experience.
If you enjoy things
Brayden
being
was
forced
really
down your throat,
concerned.
Mhm.
Brayden was real concerned about what I was about to say. I think.
I really was, but I was like, you know what? It's gonna happen now. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
lay
wait
back
with
and let
that
it happen, Corbin.
open wide for Castlevania.
That's not the first time Brayden has said that.
Hi-yo.
And if you're just tuning in, you enjoy this madness, or you found us on YouTube, encourage you to come on over on Twitch, follow us, and we can keep delivering you mediocre gaming and a bunch of topics, and we'll get to the topics soon enough. But I'm gonna start this game off.
And I have one more.
Safe with Society, YouTube, Instagram, and Blue Sky.
Bam. I have one more piece of past business just to get out of the way.
Okay.
I got a little snippy with you last stream during the
Passwords.
dating section, and I just wanted to say that I'm sorry for my behavior as a paragon of positive masculinity. I wanted to apologize to my friend for being snippy in the last stream.
Wait,
I
you were
still love
snippy?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was gonna be the reaction. But I rewatched the last stream, and there was one portion where I was like, oh, I sounded testy here, and I didn't mean to. So I didn't think that it affected you, but I wanted to.
I clearly did not pick up on it. So.
Yeah.
Clearly
I
not.
was like,
Either it wasn't very testy, and you think that your level of testy is more than it actually is.
I go back and listen to the
or
streams
maybe-
with like a very critical ear when and so that's probably what it is. I'm just hypercritical of
I
myself.
just
But
don't pick up on social cues very well. I don't know. I don't know what that says about me.
Game audio might be a tad loud. Thanks for the heads up. Okay.
Or Brandon likes testes. Who knows?
well, I mean, two things
Tell me
can be
that's
true.
better, Drana.
They are not mutually exclusive.
Exactly.
Alright, just a quick thing about this game. Unlike the other Castlevania, which is just like, welcome to your nightmare, you actually have to like, this is kind of part RPG. Like, you have to farm these hearts, like a currency to buy items.
Huh? Do you
And,
level up, or
not
is
for
it,
that.
or is it just?
Yep, you
or is
also
that like
do
the?
level up. I love this song, but you might tweak it down a little bit more. Thank you, sir.
Where is there like a heart counter that keeps track of it? Is there like a on the pause?
If I hit
Okay.
pause, yes, I had 12 there.
I was like,
So
God,
it-
that's annoying. If you like only could like check it with like a merchant or something, it'd be like, oh,
This song is awesome though.
it is a great song.
It's a bop for sure. It's no Save
this-
Point Society new intro song, but it's
Is
pretty
this
good.
going to be the summer banger?
Yes.
Yeah,
This would definitely
is,
make a decent techno remix.
Katy
I'm
Perry's
sure it
going to put
exists.
some empowerment lyrics behind it and try to pass it off as her next big hit.
I have
Here's the
recently-
iconic line. What a horrible
and
night to
great
have a
songs.
curse.
One of my favorite songs.
So
The
if I'm-
inspiration for many a T-shirt.
I'm going to be basically grinding a little bit because I have to get these hearts and stuff. Oh,
Do
damn.
you promise?
Yep.
Now, do the controls feel as tight as the original?
They're just as bad.
Good question.
Werewolves,
Okay.
known for their bounciness. I like that enemy choice. Of the hippity hoppity werewolf.
I love that line. Honestly, it's a decent line. What a horrible night to have a curse. A lot of
Incredible
people
line.
a lot of people just put it out there as a throwaway line. It's a great line.
Yeah.
Proper translation.
Yeah, that's a good line.
Great
just
song
sets
by
the mood.
Bacteria Murder.
Is it? Of course it is.
My favorite song.
Do you think
Yeah,
that song was inspired by this?
Oh, 100%.
So
Although
as
it
you
does
notice,
beg the
like the
question.
game moves to day and night cycles, and it changes the enemies. They become more powerful. It's taking more whip hits. So you
nice.
have to deal with that as the game goes on. It's like every 3 minutes real time is roughly
Jesus.
when it switches.
It does beg the
So
question, though.
there's
What is a
whippets in the game?
what's a good night to have a curse?
No,
I don't think there is one, but it just makes it extra bad when you put it that way.
This is a particularly bad night to have one. I got it.
I think it's a
Correct.
banger.
I'm bouncing back to the town here because I gotta kill some zombies and keep collecting some hearts, and I'm gonna go buy some stuff.
This is a
Yeah,
very
rawr.
stare-centric town.
It is. I like
Yeah.
the design though. I like the art. Really
Yeah.
enjoy it.
It's definitely a step up from the original.
Oh, without question.
Yeah.
Not to say
And
that the original
but-
isn't beautiful.
But now,
For contrast.
I guess that you killed Dracula, so now what are we doing?
We're actually gonna be collecting his body parts
Oh,
That's metal.
why?
Okay.
to lift the curse. Duh.
Okay.
So you got
Oh, is-
cursed because you killed Dracula?
Or
I
is
think
this the
so.
curse?
I don't know the entire backstory. The game didn't have much of a cutscene at the beginning.
Oh,
Or is the curse just what Dracula left on the town, and you have to save
Yeah,
the town
this
from his
this
curse?
is the curse.
Is it?
I
I'm
don't
looking
know.
at
we
curse.
I would assume so.
do we have to like put him together and then kill him again? Is that how we fix this?
I think so. I think that is
I
exactly.
kind of, I
Logic.
kind of guessed that.
Yeah.
That was,
We make sure that he's extra killed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, we got to grab the pieces, put them back together, and kill him again just to be sure.
I do
And
think
then
Draneth
take-
is right.
Take those
Yeah.
pieces and dump them
this
elsewhere.
this is not an ADA friendly town. No,
So yeah,
It
little
depends on your
Brandy.
disability.
no.
Max is doing some deportations at this moment.
Oh.
Zombies. Too soon?
It's gonna be too soon for a while.
It's,
Oh man. Okay, here we go. The morning sun has vanquished the horrible night.
Oh.
It's got a charm to it. It's not as good as the nighttime text. So anytime you're in buildings, apparently, I can go here and get healed. Anytime you're in buildings, the time kind of stops. Did it take care of
okay.
the curse? No.
Oh, and you can. I didn't know that you could get healed up. Man, that would have made a huge game changer like forever ago.
It's
If only,
yeah, and
if only
again,
Baby Corbin had known.
because if you could imagine just like stepping to this game cold and going through everything, there's no way.
No.
Here I'm gonna buy holy water, I believe. Yes.
Hey, but
it's kind
this gate would be worth the money. I mean, you get your money's worth. Lots
Yeah,
of
oh, yeah.
replay. Just be trying to figure out every little thing.
So I got the crystal, which is the pearl up in the top right, and I got the holy water. That's as far as I know.
Looks like a pearl, not a crystal.
Yeah. Well, okay. So yeah, Castlevania 1, hearts power your special weapons. 2, hearts are money. Yep, makes sense.
Called evolution. All right.
Mystery.
All right, so now we're gonna kind of venture at least a little bit.
Oh, excellent.
In the other point of the game, you actually go clear out like these. I think it's 5 mansions, and that's where you get the parts of Dracula. So there's like, but the open world is you can kind of, with some limitation, do them in whatever order you want, whatever order your special items allow you to get in. It's I don't know, it's kind of neat.
So in
For the time.
Castlevania 1, it was like a stage thing where you got to a certain point in the stage, there's a checkpoint. If you died, you restarted the checkpoint. With this being more of like a quote-unquote like open-worldy type of game, do you know what
Yeah,
happens
right.
when you die
You you lose your hearts.
in the
But
game?
you
By the way, I'm not
accumulated,
asking
so-
you what happens.
Well, no, I mean, you do you lose all the hearts you accumulated, but oof, man, that didn't work. But then you can go back and get them again.
That's some
Okay.
homing BS right there.
Sure is.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
Figured
Oh.
Oh.
Ugh.
That is
I
a
just
much more
remembered-
pleasing death sound, though.
Apparently,
that one.
you cannot swim.
No, you cannot. It's
You
instant
did
death in the
not learn
water.
how to
Well-
swim.
Swimming is against the rules.
Also, don't
Wait,
stay in
is there
place.
is there 2-player in this? Because it says player
No,
one.
it's just like how many deaths you have. It threw me off too.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
So if I die one more time, I have to go to the continue screen. I think that's yeah, because I still kept all my hearts. Then I would lose them all. But you know, you just grind them back. It's not the end of the world.
Is that holy water that you have already? That was such
Yes.
a cheat code in the first one.
Yeah, I bought it right in the first town. So, and you don't have to spend hearts to use it either. It doesn't stun. It's not as powerful, but it doesn't allow
Still money.
Belmont's to swim. That's right.
Yeah.
It's what was it with regular Nintendo games and the sequels being such departures from the series as a whole?
Yeah.
Like, I was going to bring up Mario 2, but obviously that wasn't originally a Mario game, so we all know that is a weird thing. But like Zelda 2 is like such a departure from.
Yes.
Wasn't
Zelda
that a
in
different
general.
game too?
Oh, cake up.
Sorry.
Wasn't that a
wait.
different game too?
Hold on. Mario 2 was not a
No.
Mario game?
No, it
No.
wasn't. It was a paint
It was-
over of some other game.
It was called
Yeah.
Doki Doki Panic was the original game that
That's
was
it,
painted
yeah.
over.
So that's why it was like so
Weird.
wildly different.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I
I think Zelda 2 was intended to be a Zelda. I think.
I do like. So here's one of those cryptic clues. A rib can shield you from evil. I know what that means. This one at least is somewhat straightforward. Once you realize when you get a part of Dracula that happens to be his rib, that it works as a shield. But some of these are like really cryptic.
You're collecting individual bones from Dracula. This is gonna be a long game, Max.
The pale
The
my son
pale my son.
must rest in the church.
Here is Dracula's first metacarpal. Keep going.
I don't need to rest actually.
Which part of the body is that metacarpal? Raven?
Isn't that this part of your hand? Isn't that the
Hand.
long part in the here?
Good job.
All right, neighborhood. Yeah.
Metacarpal's hand.
Oh, here's the other fun
Metatarsus
part.
foot.
So there's just
Yeah.
random blocks that you have to knock out.
How very Metroid of you.
Yeah, so you have to find the hidden places down here. I can't remember what I'm
Dude,
supposed to try
that's
to buy
like,
here.
how would you know that? Like the
You
blocks
wouldn't.
look the same. It's like
There's no
just
way.
luck.
No wonder. There's no way I made it very far into this game as a kid.
Corbin's like, this game sucks.
So
Oh, I
wait,
need
hang
more
on.
Hearts, damn it.
So let's say you bought the chain whip there, right? And then you
Mm-hmm.
die and get the continue screen. Do you keep the chain whip?
I think so.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
That's nice of them.
I was good. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh, we got a paragraph from Dranith. Basically, Nintendo realized that Japanese Super Mario Brothers 2 was so hard that they were. Oh, that's right, because Super Mario
Yeah,
Brothers
yeah.
2. Did that become
The
the
lost
levels?
levels.
Yeah. They were pretty sure North America would hate it, so they needed a replacement. They took Doki Doki Panic and changed the characters to Mario characters and released it as SMB2, but in Japan it was called SMB USA. I didn't know that last bit.
Oh, I
That-
just
that
leveled
actu-
up, I think.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
What are you going to do now?
I don't really know if I have to do anything to level up or did it just happen. Is it
You just need
L1?
48 more hearts for the chain whip. Why are you so poor?
Oh, I gotta get out of this area. This is like...
No, you're doing great.
They're hurting me. Not dying
Jacob
very
says.
fast.
Jacob says this game sucks. Play some. This is gonna be contentious. Is it
Balatro.
Balatro or
It's
Balatro?
Balatro. Pretty sure it's
Balatro?
Balatro. Yeah.
Okay.
Is that right, Kate?
I don't.
Yes.
I feel like Jacob's gonna say
I
no.
mean,
just
we
to
can
whichever
always
one we
just
choose.
cut the stream short for Max, and I can go back to playing some skiing.
Max is on an adventure. He's earned this.
Adventuring.
Yeah.
I'm gonna farm hearts out here because that other place is scary. The town's a little too
I-
tough.
That skiing game's on a bunch of Game of the Year contenders already. I know
Is it?
best
Seriously?
indie game.
Is
Yeah.
it really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, Jacob says you guys are
hilarious.
super wrong. So Balatro it is. Sorry, Max, you're wrong.
No,
Balatro.
it's Balatro.
It's Balatro.
Mm. What if
That's-
it's Balatro?
That's how it's spelled.
No, don't do that.
Model.
I
It's
think
like it's like
Italian.
being the guy at the restaurant that orders a mozzarella sticks. Don't be that guy.
Mozzarella.
I don't even care if you guys are Italian. Don't be that guy.
Well, you got the mustache, Max. I think you might be able
Balatro.
Balatro, dude.
Balatro. This Balatro.
There you go. That's the correct accent.
Got to really
Didn't
hit
that game
A.
win? Well, didn't that game win Game of the Year, or was it just like Indie Game of the Year?
Balatro.
I think a few places won Game of the Year.
You shut your mouth, Granite. Rollatini. Get out of my house.
What's Rollatini?
There's a dish that Olive Garden put on their menu,
Oh,
and apparently it's a real thing, but I refuse to believe it because it just
What the-
it sounds far too fake.
see that just walk into a skeleton?
It sounds redundant because it just doesn't make sense.
What is it?
Rolotini.
What is it?
Okay, hold up. Roll.
Describe the pasta to me without getting too excited.
Well, you're asking me to do the
Too late.
impossible. Rollatini, just even saying it, I feel so stupid, is an Italian-style dish called rollatini di melanzane in faux Italian. Okay. We're on the wiki, so I'm doing my best here.
Wait, faux Italian.
That's what it says. That is usually made with thin slices of eggplants, which are dusted in wheat flour or lightly breaded and covered with ricotta, and often other cheeses and seasonings.
The worst cheese.
I hate you so much. Then rolled up and baked. Alternatively, veal, chicken, or fish may be used in place of the eggplant. It's not an
for it to be daytime.
Oh. Okay, thank God. Rollatini is not an actual Italian word or dish. It's an Americanized version based on the Italian dish involtini. So, okay, that actually, thank you for making me look that up. I feel way better now.
So we improved the Italian. Cool.
You did. You made my life immeasurably better.
We improved Brandon.
Yeah, I'm gonna go buy
that's
me a
right,
better whip
Jacob.
now.
Astrobot won Game of the Year. That's right. It was even weirder than Bolatro winning. Ugh,
Is this song called Bloody Tears?
I believe so.
Not this one.
That or Dredd is just having his own adventure over there, and I don't know what's happening, but I like the shepherds and stuff that hang out in town.
Yeah, towns feel populated during the
Atmosphere.
day. Yeah, it doesn't feel
Adds
so
the gameplay
lonely.
experience.
They're shepherding, man. Let them shepherd.
I'm gonna go
They
buy
sure
this
are.
whip. Problem is you can't buy items once it becomes nighttime, so that can be a real annoying thing.
Oh, okay. Store closest makes sense.
Go to the secret store below the store.
Do you have enough?
Like, how do you expect to run a business like this? Like,
I have enough
how do you
what?
pay your lease?
I should. I really hope so.
Oh, you got your money. Get that whip, boy.
Give me the hearts of those you killed.
I don't know if I ever even got the chain whip when I played this as a kid.
No, I mean,
Ah,
yeah. See, there you go. And it helps because it does so much more damage. Obviously, is
Oh, and it looks beautiful.
it does.
Yeah, it does have a nice little, spray change.
Okay, what else
Yep.
do I have to get here? I don't remember all that.
Although I
think
gotta say, chain whip doesn't sound like it would work that well.
kind of
maybe I just
waiting
need
more
for
right?
you in
Yeah.
the town of
Unless it's, some
Alijaba.
bedroom activities.
That would be the latter. That'll be the latter, Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, some people would do things in this game, but I will be walking back and forth. All right, I'm actually gonna start doing some things. Oh, come
an
back.
eyeball.
Yep. Eyeball's a
Fine.
new enemy. I remember that one from Castlevania
Correct.
1.
Correct,
Trying to
Jacob.
get
We're
like,
good.
Correct, Jacob.
there you go.
All right, I'm hoping that everyone right now is just listening to the program and not watching because my goodness.
It's
Well-
off the rails. Fantastic.
All right.
So where we shine best, boys. Let's go.
Well, I think Corbin, you want to kick us off with our first bit of our first article here? Oh wait,
Sure.
sorry, there's a cat. I just saw the cat, so never mind. We can wait. We'll have to wait.
We've got a Guinness on stream.
Hmm
Well, hi, buddy.
And until Guinness has
Guinness.
decided that it's time, we
Dude.
wait.
What
Let's
am
see
I
if Max
missing
can make
here?
this jump.
What am I missing here?
Ah,
Oh my
there we
gosh,
go.
it is so
Got it.
touchy. Okay, fine.
Have you tried being better at the game?
No, I just started the game. You saw me start the game.
Have you tried
It takes
jumping
time.
more?
Do you need me to look up the guide for you to tell you what to
Nope. Nope, we're gonna
Okay.
win.
You need the guide
Without
to
it.
know how to jump.
I
do? We
know.
do. I can read you. They had a
Are
whole
we-
section on basic controls,
Want to
Max.
play
I can read you
Blatro?
Is there anybody that's keeping track of deaths on this one?
Ah,
So I've been
shit.
2.
that.
This does not look like it's as arduous as the other one, though. I think.
Still the same god awful stairs controls, right? Though
Yeah, the
you have
controls
to
are
walk
still
to the
bad.
stairs, then
Why,
hold up. Yeah.
why change things? Why improve them at this point?
No.
I hate you, Jacob. Okay, well,
This
I'll
is
go there.
this game has what, 2 buttons?
Hey,
So
Jacob,
even
why not hit-
Geriatric would be okay
Why
with
not
this
hit
one.
B? What happens if you hit B?
You don't want to know what happens if you hit B.
Nothing. Yeah.
You get hit with the bat. And eyeballs.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Come at you. Are those eyeballs?
Those are eyeballs, I think.
Those are eyeballs,
Okay.
yeah.
Just making sure.
hmm
You know, there's always that game where it's like,
There
oh,
you go.
I thought it was this, and they're
Got
like,
this.
no, it was
Now I
this.
got this
and you're just
thing.
like, oh, really?
It's the sacred
Sacred
flame.
flame.
I
Like,
wonder if
how would
we,
you know?
Man. Wait, did it
I
turn
won-
your whip into a fiery whip?
No, you
Oh.
do get that later in the game, though.
Oh. Ooh, really? Nice.
Fiery chain whip?
Correct. You have to get the Morning Star and then turn it into the Fire Whip. Should be sitting back a little.
Relax, take a load off. You were
Got a boy. Way to take down those bats and eyes.
Hmm.
Did they?
He
Did
definitely
they?
batted an eye.
Oh, Sean coming in strong.
No, it's
Yeah.
gross.
Did they get rid of the
it's
Medusa
been a
heads
good
in this one?
stream
Yeah,
tonight,
it's
guys.
like-
That's
Have a
yeah.
good
Let's
night.
call it. That was it's never gonna get better than that, boys. Let's just
Yeah.
pack it in.
I vaguely remember making it to this point. I don't know how.
Yeah.
Oh, it's getting
You didn't
extra
have to chain
scary
whip.
now.
Getting hairy.
Yeah.
Can't see those like little rocks in the way.
You know how spiders are always hurling their webs at people across the room?
I mean,
Common
isn't
plan
that
with
the
it.
entire like Spider-Man
Premise of
universe?
Spider-Man. Yeah.
Yeah, see,
Big
I'm
Spider-Man.
gonna go this way. Let's go this way. Let's find out what happens.
I'm not sure about you, Corbin, but I've been told not to mess with the Amazing Spider-Man. That's just me, though.
Who told you that? Spider-Man?
That would be yeah, he did. While he was ruining my day in Marvel Rivals, which I haven't played for a while actually. I'll go back to it someday. It kind of did the Overwatch thing for me, where it's like it's really fun in bursts, and then it's the same game for
Yeah.
yeah.
From now until eternity, like over
True, yeah.
Hours.
And I poured like 50 or 60 hours into it in the first game, which I know isn't much compared to a lot of people, but it's like okay, time to do something else.
Again,
Yeah.
Time to play Bloodborne again.
haven't
here's
had
the next
enough
town.
Bloodborne, so we're gonna do that.
Only got like 200 hours in that, so we got some juice up to
I
squeeze
think-
out of that one.
I think
Only
this is where I
200 hours?
Switch in the. I think I switch in the crystal here. I know it doesn't make sense to anybody else, but I think
Okay.
I'm supposed to do something else here once it becomes daylight.
Duranoth would
Is
like
this
to
like a
warn you
port
that
town?
the webs do incredible damage, by the way. Duranoth would like to warn you.
Okay. I don't like
Yes.
that.
So just don't touch
Where
them.
are all the
I
zombies?
know they look delicious, but don't.
Okay. Takes 3 hits.
What?
Bap, bap,
We had
bap.
like 6 before.
Yeah, my whip is more powerful these days.
They're more powerful.
Powerful.
You were taking 6
Powerful.
before?
With the regular leather whip, yes. I just gotta wait
I know
for
that's
it
what
to
they're
be
made
daytime.
of, but when you say it, it just sounds
It's
strange.
just a basic whip.
Yeah, I know.
Whip,
Quick.
whip.
Yeah. Well, I guess we
Talked Corbin into
Corbin
talking about some
into-
topics.
should probably get onto this.
Yeah, this game is
So,
supposed to be background, so like I don't
Get on with
don't
it!
pay attention to it.
I mean, but I'm really interested in it, so I
Yeah.
can't help it.
Nope.
Don't worry, we're gonna make sure that everyone knows when you flip up. So you just keep doing your thing, though.
Did you say when he gives up?
Slips up.
Oh, I was like, Jesus.
I was avoiding a stronger word.
There we go.
I hope Max would do a
What-
flip on
What
stream.
was the word you were trying to avoid?
What's the first article?
Way to sidestep that. All right, I
Thank
guess
you.
Brandon really wants to know what the articles are about
As,
tonight.
as the conservative representation on the show, Corbin, my number one thing is to avoid answering a question directly. Thank you very
And
much.
coincidentally, the articles are
Track
all
you.
about pasta tonight. So
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
I figured that you'd
not fair.
appreciate it.
Sorry.
and It would be right up your alley.
We've already debunked rollatini as a culinary choice, so
Actually,
I'm feeling strong.
you're in for a treat.
Yes.
So the first article that we've got here, this is a article that came off of the ABC News website.
It sounds like a
published
fake news
a couple days
like-
ago.
thing, you know?
And it really, the gist of it is talking about
I haven't
how
want these yet.
our new head of the HHS,
No,
Mr.
no.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
He's
would
You guys
not
like-
don't know what he
pasta.
sounds like?
You
no,
lied
sure
to me.
don't. Sure don't. I will. how he, being not a healthcare provider or doctor under any circumstances,
Not even
would
close.
like not. Didn't he go to law school or something?
I think so. Who
Fail out of
cares?
law
He's an
school
idiot.
or something like that. Like, yeah. Anyway,
Corbin, he came up with the acronym MAHA. I think that qualifies him for something.
okay.
This
Oh,
guy's
he's the one that coined that. Lovely. That explains a lot about that whole movement.
Get him, Clive, get him.
Well, what's going on?
I got a blue.
Changed electrodes.
Got a
Blue.com.
pistol.
So, anyhow, Mr. Kennedy Jr. would like for all of the vaccines that are now coming out in the future to be undergoing placebo double-blind studies. And I think for the general populace, that probably sounds like a really, really good idea, right? Like, yeah, we should have placebo trials for medications to see if they're effective. But I don't think that a lot of people really understand vaccines, and I think in the last several years we have learned
what
that.
evidence do you have of Americans misunderstanding
what a vaccine actually does or how it actually works? I am not a virologist. I am also not an epidemiologist, but I do work in healthcare. I have a pretty good understanding of how these things work. I think Dr. Max
Rastafari in here?
He does as well. And when it comes to certain medications, like, yes, we can do a double-blind study where one patient gets the medication and its active ingredients, and we see if it does something, and the other patient doesn't, and we see how that compares, right? Like, totally fine. With vaccines, we are essentially saying that, okay, this person gets something that may help them prevent getting a disease or getting severe disease, and then this other person, you just don't get anything, so good luck.
Well, and in blind, the like double blind is also that they, like, the researchers don't know who got what.
Right.
So do they get a real vaccine or do they get a fake vaccine? They're blinded because they don't know.
Right. And this is starting to raise a lot of ethics issues within the medical community, I would think for some obvious reasons.
So, question.
Yes.
So, how would you test that? Would you just expose both people to the virus, even though you know the other guy's gonna get it and just get sick and die?
Sean needs to be in charge of HHS because he thought this through way more than they did.
Yes.
I'm just like, this is horrific.
That is essentially what they're asking for, and they're saying that this applies to all new vaccines, which a lot of people seem to think that the COVID vaccine, which, there is a large populace within not just the US, but worldwide, that say that it was not studied enough, that it didn't go through enough trials, and actually, as it turns out, it had one of the largest, double-blind studies of any vaccine ever.
Not surprised.
Wasn't part of their misunderstanding the mRNA technology, too, which has been around for decades, if I'm not mistaken?
It's been around for, I think last I saw it was 35 or 40 years.
Yeah, they were thinking that this is some kind of untested technology because, well, we know why.
Because RFK Jr. told them so.
Yes.
So, yeah, essentially, with these vaccines, they want all the new ones to come out and be tested with these placebos. Okay, fine, whatever. But the other question that kind of comes into play is what is a new vaccine? Is it just okay? Now we have new COVID-20 or something, right? So now we need a vaccine for that, and is that new, or is it a new vaccine also like the flu vaccine that every year it kind of gets updated and changed to hopefully be effective at counteracting whatever flu virus we see that year? Is that considered new, or is it just we're building off of something that's already there? So now we have a lot of questions about how does this work, because it will take forever for us to do yearly updates if we're having to do constant double-blind studies with placebos. That's all we would be doing is a research community.
But what if we had I don't know, 80 plus years of evidence to suggest that the vaccines we already have are in fact safe without doing a double-blind random placebo-controlled trial? Do we have anything like that?
I would like to think that we do.
I think we do. I think we do.
Because we haven't seen polio in a long time in this country.
Sure have. You know who has?
Right? As of recently.
There was also another one that we hadn't seen a lot of, and that was measles. And that also seemed to be quite effective based on the mountains of evidence and data that
Remember the pre-worried about measles days of our childhood?
Maybe RK was just feeling nostalgic. He wanted to see some old friends.
I really hate now that, like, when I'm working, that measles now is, like, legitimately on my differential when I'm, like, taking care of patients with rashes. Because, like, when I went through training, it was like, yeah, it's something to think about, but the chances of it being that are so low that, like, it's probably not that. Now it's, like, a legit consideration when I see a kid coming with a rash.
I really like not having to worry about it, too.
Like, but now that is our sad reality.
So we know that the pandemic broke a lot of people's brains. We don't need to go down the whole list. We generally have an idea of who we're talking about here. But the one of the main issues I see there with the new vaccines is that so the COVID vaccine was in response to an emergency situation. And I don't know the exact extent of the testing on that. There was extensive testing done. But if we're talking about these double-blind studies now, in an emergency situation, in a lot of cases, we're not dealing with things that you have the luxury of time for that kind of...
What?
Correct.
And you got it, Max.
Sorry,
believe in yourself.
Watching the game.
Yeah, Did you? I apologize. We'll definitely let's return to that point. But as Sean just pointed out, you just have to know that you have to hold this blue crystal here, and then you have to kneel there, and then the water will reveal a secret passage. Is a thing you have to just know about that part of the game.
I totally missed that. That's fantastic.
And Sean was like, "What the hell?"
Well, I just saw you
that's just how this
kneel, and I
works.
was like, all of a sudden the screen went. You were like, there
It was
for
an
like
unfortunate
3 seconds.
timing in relation to what I was talking about. So it's like, oh, Sean hates the idea of emergency vaccines. Okay, got it.
No, I like those. Those are good.
Yeah.
Just FYI.
Duranda says, I'm sure a townsperson tells you that in backwards English somewhere. So you just weren't listening backwardsly enough, Max.
Yeah.
That's all.
I was not.
Like pig Latin.
He was reading forwardly, I guess.
Yeah.
I
that's your
also,
mistake.
I'm trying to
There's
figure out.
town
I know
down
I'm
there.
supposed to be go to a certain mansion. I'm just a little lost trying to get there. So, don't worry, we'll get there.
Wait, you're lost in this game? No.
Uh-oh.
I know.
Just say the word, Max.
So,
Attaboy.
anyway, to...
So in the event of like an emergency rollout like that, where it's not something we have the luxury for, we did testing to determine that it was the efficacy of the vaccine, and then they want this even more. It's an emergency situation where you're playing with lives, and I understand that there are concerns, but again, like Max just pointed out, we have 80 years of evidence that vaccines are safe and effective. So why are we doing this? Why are we?
In fairness to that counterpoint, sorry, go ahead, Corbin.
No, go ahead, Max.
Well, in fairness to that counterpoint, when I was quipping about 80 years of vaccines, I was referring to like MMR and vaccines that we've had in existence. It's fair to say that the COVID vaccine it's a new vaccine technology. That part is fair and true. But it was not like, Jesus, why can't I kill that thing? It was not like it was just thought up on the spot. Like the coronavirus vaccines had been in development for many, many, many years, including mRNA. It was emergent, so we did speed along some of the development, though. But
Sure.
in the end,
Three.
just start here. I just have to get whips. Oh, I have all my items, so sweet. I don't have to get all that again. So it's really not a huge penalty to dying, which is good for me. But yeah, so we had all these.
Not make it 80 this time.
Right. So a lot of people were coming out and saying, that it's not been tested. It's not been. Actually, yeah, there was a lot of research behind it. There was testing going on for years against different serotypes of coronavirus, and then once this one became a predominant worthy opponent, if you will, then we were like, all right, we'll adapt this technology and do that. And they did, I think, 6 months to 12 months of testing. And I'll tell you, who was really excited to be the first in line? Myself, a lot of other physicians. I think Corbin was there with me when I went and got my initial vaccine, because I was on the front lines, actually. And I was so happy to put that new technology right into my body after reading the studies, because it certainly appeared to be safe and effective, and it was both of those things. Any vaccine carries a very small chance that you could have some sort of reaction to it, the ones that have been around forever. But when you weigh those around against the, getting measles, which something like 1 in 20 will get pneumonia, and that's like the leading cause of death from measles. Those aren't great odds when you weigh the very extreme rare side effects from the vaccines against the odds of getting it and then having children dying in Texas like we're seeing. No contest. Like the vaccines are so much better than the alternative.
I think that what a lot of people tend to forget too is like, okay, so every medication, every vaccine on the planet has side effects, and those side effects will affect somebody. Like that is how it is, and that is the unfortunate reality of healthcare and medicine. And it doesn't matter what it is. There's somebody that will have a negative outcome because of whatever it is that they took or was injected with, and some people have some really, really bad side effects that can have pretty detrimental impacts to their life, right? And like that's just the reality, and it's a sad reality, but it's true. And so I think that a lot of what we had run into is one person had like a bad side effect, so now it's like, oh, all vaccines are bad. And it's like, well, no, because we have a lot of people that this really benefited and, either kept out of the hospitals or kept them from getting super, super sick to where they needed to be on ventilators and things like that when it came to like the COVID vaccines. Mm-hmm. And it was sort of that like, I forget the specific term of the bias, but it's like where it worked for you, so it must work for everybody else, or it didn't work for you, so it can't work for anybody else. And so I think that we saw a lot of that, and that is sort of perpetuated through, now with our current leader in the HHS, that it's sort of.
When we say leader, though, it's kind of a strong word.
It is. I use that word very, very loosely.
Head of, for lack of a better word. He is in charge.
The guy occupying the chair and the title.
Mm-hmm. Now I thought, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I thought that part of the argument against was the mandates. So it does feel a little strange if we're talking about enforcing this new extensive testing regime that could impact people's ability to get it in a timely manner. I can understand to a degree the argument against mandates. I don't agree with it, but I can at least understand what they're talking about. But if we're not talking about a mandated vaccine of any kind, I don't understand this. If people are okay with getting it, given the testing that already exists, it feels a little strange to me that we're now saying, no, you can't get protected against this disease until we are fully satisfied with our 400th round of testing. It just seems strange to me that
It's because it is.
We're discounting all the positives, and kind of continually moving the goalposts away from like I said. I know the big thing was that like people were the Roganses of the world were very upset about the idea of mandates because younger, healthier people might have lesser side effects than older. Which sure, fair. So I can understand his point there. But this just seems like a wild overstep in the other direction.
It really is, and I think that part of the problem that stemmed from
the first mansion, by the way,
like the COVID vaccine mandates.
With one health. Good job, Max.
That's all I need.
At least he's consistent, John. He's consistent that he goes into these fights with one health.
Yeah.
But the issues that kind of stemmed from these.
Who needs that health if you're gonna drown?
Vaccine mandate is like people seem to forget that like we were dealing, at least during COVID, we were dealing with a new virus that like we as a medical community did not understand. Like we didn't know anything about it. It was killing people, and so it's like
bad variety. Certainly,
there's a lot of panic that goes into that. We're like, oh god, like this is really bad. We're watching people die left and right, and we don't really understand why, and we don't know how to like really combat this because like our general like toolkits just did not have what we needed to take care of these people. And so then it's like, all right, we have to like have these mandates because we're trying to figure out the best way to minimize negative outcomes, and sometimes it is things like mandates and mask mandates and whatnot, and yeah, I understand. I do understand why people were against them. I totally understand why that is.
Right.
Like,
it's not unreasonable to feel that way. I understand what they're saying. Yeah.
And I disagree with them, but I do understand, and I can empathize with why people felt that way.
Times are messing you up, bruh.
There was a weird thing that happened where Operation Warp Speed was actually initiated by the first Trump administration, and it's so strange now because it was probably one of the better things that they tried to do to deal with COVID, and now they can't take credit for it because their whole
a symbol of evil will appear when you strike the snake.
Appear. Their whole movement appropriately treats it like a symbol of evil, like a vaccine that is meant to take care of people. So the effort they put into Operation Warp Speed to actually try to speed along getting access to PPE and the vaccines, now they can't even take credit for it because their own side hates it. It's such a bizarre world to live in.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of people forget too that Trump touted himself as the one that came up with the vaccine
until it was unpopular.
I mean, he legit took credit for the development of it, even though it was like basically German funded. But beside the point.
But even the president of the United States is subject to audience capture, where his people don't like it, so even he has to turn against his own accomplishment there, which is just, man, what a sad state of existence to be in.
It's so
the weirdest.
So, in the future, you can take
what?
Oh, no.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Stupid hidden floors. Boxes that don't do anything. So, yeah,
those
some blocks
suck.
They do. Some blocks just do not, they're just like fake. You just walk through them.
Is that like a design feature, or is that...
It is actually a design feature.
It's a dumb design feature.
Most people would agree.
Design. Jesus.
I think that's why most people get angry at this game. Yeah, here, I'll show you where they were.
The floor up from underneath you? Yeah, that's a pretty good reason to be...
Yeah, so these blocks at the very end that I just jumped through, you can, like, walk right through them. So, see?
So which one are you
supposed to... They're not there.
That's...
Oh, boy.
And some of them will appear in the ground. They look like normal ground, and you actually walk across like this with throwing holy waters, so you try to find out where they are.
What a fun element. What you want to do is you want to stop every 3 steps to test to make sure the ground is real. Video games!
It's like the opposite of the ground is lava, I guess.
Yeah, correct, yeah.
This would be why this game is divisive.
Is divisive the correct pronunciation, or are you being pretentious?
It could be divisive. I think I've heard it both ways. It might be one that
I've heard it both ways. I wasn't sure if one is British or not. Let me see. I'm fact-checking.
Ugh.
Is this like saying color with a U?
Careful.
Yes, you can tell when people are doing it. Yeah, that game mechanic is particularly annoying. I think it starts... There's going to be places where I can fall through the floor, and I don't remember where they start. Again, I watched one cursory video on this. I know they start in this dungeon somewhere.
You didn't go into like a deep dive on where all of them are?
I have to go over to see this guy, I think. He sells the wooden stake, or the oak stake.
Oh. I like invest.
Are you ready for an incredibly
unsatisfying? You'll find out.
Are you ready for a very unsatisfying answer?
You would think that. It's not what it is.
Unsatisfying answer with what?
Both divisive and divisive are correct. Which doesn't feel... That feels like a divisive decision.
Yeah, that feels very divisive.
Yes, me.
It just sounds like Max wasn't wrong, and I like that.
It sounds like the dictionary or whoever is citing this is a coward to me. But
take a stand.
Yeah. But yeah. So have they given a rollout schedule for when they're going to start doing this, Corbin?
I don't think they're. I mean, much like a lot of what is going on.
Look at see.
There is no definitive plans. It seems like it's all just a lot of talk. But we have, we can take comfort again in knowing that we are being led by somebody who has no idea what they're doing and is putting more people in place that also have no idea what they're doing, and will be, I guess, testing things on people in ways that probably are very unethical.
By the way,
So that's good, right? Like, we're gonna be okay.
Corbin, they're moving fast and breaking the system. Thank you very much.
by the way, if you get the oak stake, you need to use it to hit the orb. That's
Yeah,
why the oak
doesn't
Of course,
stake is
take
there.
long.
obviously, dude.
And it reveals a bag.
You now possess
You know, possess.
Dracula's rib.
Max, a rib can be used to shield you from evil. Max.
I know,
Max.
I'm aware.
That's not a rib. That's like a humerus.
That's
See, now I have a shield. See?
that
Use
is
the
the
rib
most,
as a shield.
That's a shield, not a rib.
Like, give a dog a bone I've ever seen.
It is. You're talking. That's a rib.
That's the rib.
You've seen Snoopy chewing on it.
Yeah.
Wait.
So there, I fell through, but it's okay. It's how you get out of here quicker.
So does the shield actually like block damage?
It blocks projectiles, I believe. Not that guy.
Are you immune to projectiles now, or is it like you have to use it?
No, you just have to stop moving and have the shield out.
Oh, it's amazing how much that looks like a shield and not a bone.
Well, it's a rib.
Definitely not like a give a dog a bone.
Definitely not a give a dog.
That's a great description.
That's like, I couldn't figure out a better way to describe like a cartoon
Oh,
bone.
what was that?
That was my like super holy water thing. It costs hearts to use it, and I don't really need it for anything. You don't technically need it for anything anyway, but just trying to get out of here. This is the first mansion, so we have completed it successfully.
Oh, that's it. There's no like boss or anything.
Nope.
Is there like
there's only a
monsters in
few
it?
bosses in the game, but it doesn't follow the Castlevania one like the
Playbook?
the playbook of let's just murder you over and over again, and you just have to live with that. All right,
What
cleared
happens if
one.
you go the other direction?
That's where I came from. I go back towards the towns. I want to go this way because I need to go back to the first town.
Hey, medical guys, this should make you feel better. This is a quote from that article. When asked to elaborate on what the department considers a new vaccine, the spokesperson said that federal health agencies would follow the gold standard of science. Is that a term you guys use a lot?
Yeah, that's literally that's what we tell patients all the time, that we're just
Yeah.
doing the gold standard of science when they come in.
Sometimes
And,
sometimes you want to do the platinum standard, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And
You're a
they'll be
real
like,
baller.
"Hey, what are we gonna do for my knee pain?" And I'm like, we're gonna follow the gold standard of science. And when they ask what that is, I go, well, we're about to find out. And then I do a physical exam on their knee and maybe shoot an X-ray of it.
Gold standard.
Gold standard. That's
Yeah.
science.
Spawns you
Nygaard
right in.
talked
You're
about
just
it.
like that guy's right in your face.
I think Neil deGrasse Tyson also talks about the gold standard of science
Yep.
on a regular basis.
Big fan of the gold standard that guy is.
It's just
And he
even science has to be plated in gold for this administration to care about it.
Jesus.
What a
Yeah, that couldn't be further from the truth, man.
Like, it's all gold plated. It's just
You know
good.
what? They're still
Yeah.
treating it like,
Look at
Trump.
see, Bink.
gold-plated toilet. So
exactly, yes.
there's that. It's fantastic.
See if the shield rib. He overshot
Rib.
me.
Come on.
I love how.
See you
Oh,
later.
I
He's
blocked.
going
him.
for headshots, and then he just gave up.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I missed.
Yeah.
Never mind. I'm out of here.
well, he
There
knows
you
he
go,
was on
heal.
stream, and we just saw him miss 2 slow headshots, and he was like, "That's it, I'm done, man."
Mhm.
That was his version of, "Oh, my internet died." That's what happened
so
right there.
to illustrate, like my favorite example to illustrate how insane that argument is, that every vaccine needs to be random controlled trial, blinded, blah blah blah. I invite RFK Jr. to test that against a super scary virus like Ebola. So let's
Right.
start with his family, and then how about half of you get the vaccine, half of you might get a placebo, and I'll hang out with Ebola victims, and then see which one works better. What's going to happen is that all the folks who got placebo are going to get Ebola, and it's horrible. It's a hemorrhagic virus. There's a reason it's to be feared. We actually do have a vaccine that works very well for it, which is awesome. But you can't randomize placebo control double blind study that because it's unethical to force people to get Ebola with a placebo because you want to test it like it's some other medication. That's like the best way I can illustrate
And that really kind of sums up the, like, I guess, general argument against, like, how stupid this is, because it's exactly that, right? Like, you expose people to something. I mean, even in this case, like, you expose somebody to measles, right? Like, to do a double-blind study, and like maybe they do okay, but then maybe 5 years from now they get subacute encephalitis because of the measles, and now like they basically become a vegetable slowly over time because they got some placebo that was not the actual vaccine. And it's just like everybody in the medical community, at least any reasonable person in the medical community, is like, this is so stupid, this is such a bad idea. And unfortunately, we are in the position that we're in, and I don't know what the answer is to get us out of it right now.
I will provide a little bit of hope there, as a non-medical professional, but as a, I'm going to say professional analyst of these folks. Just like with the tariffs. Yeah. I was going to say these cowards, which is what I should say. But just like with the tariffs, they talk a big game, but when they're talking about these, forcing these things to be, in these double-blind controlled trials and kind of stuck in testing hell, they're not thinking about diseases like Ebola. They're thinking about, because the whole thing with them is, COVID is a bad cold. So that's what they're talking about. They're talking about, as it is always, the thought process begins and ends with a slogan with these guys. So they're not thinking about the ramifications on. So when it comes time, when the rubber meets the road and there would be an actual extremely dangerous virus, they would back off. Because that's
I think that's probably true, but then again, I saw them resisting being intubated for COVID and telling us that we gave them COVID and were lying to them as they were drowning in their own secretions. So,
I'm with Max.
Yeah, I'm with Max on that one too. I don't
mostly because I did witness the same thing.
But you're talking about patients. You're not talking about the administration.
Oh yeah, no, that's fair. But
I'm talking about the administration caving on their bluster and their big talk, because they're always thinking in the simplest, most ABC remedial fourth grader level terms. That's as far as their thought process goes.
Sure.
So
I mean, do I truly think that something as obviously frightening as like an Ebola outbreak would change a lot of minds? Yeah, it wouldn't change everybody's, but it would change a lot.
Right, and I agree with you. There are certain people who are just that they are lost to that. Their brains are a soup consisting of raw milk and full fur kiwis. Like, there's nothing left in there, and and you're not gonna be able to convince everybody. But I do think that these people talk a big game. They're full of a lot of bluster, but deep down, they understand. And that's the problem, is that they understand it's a grift.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're playing to an audience. But if it comes down, like you said, if it comes down to it, and their family is in a dangerous situation or something to that effect, then yeah, you see that they change their minds. So
raw
that's
milk
my
and
one
Four
little
Loko. Nice callback to the last stream.
Convinced.
Thank you. That's my one little bit of hope core there, is that, yeah, they talk big game, but if something really dangerous actually did, surface, then I don't think they would stick to their guns, because they never do. They talk big game and then they bail. They cave.
I mean,
which is good. It's good. Don't get me wrong. I like that.
You're right. Like, that is a good thing that they would. But the problem is they put out a message that will hurt the general populace. And when we are essentially looking to government to kind of help guide society and guide people as a whole, or at least provide support or protection or whatever, and they're giving bad information that will inevitably hurt people, like, that's where a lot of the concern lies.
Yeah,
and
don't get me wrong. It's still horrible.
Irony in a lot of this too is you have somebody like RFK who's like, well, we need to test these rigorously and blah blah blah, which I don't disagree with that. Like, I think testing is incredibly important when it comes to medications and vaccines. But then they push these supplements that have zero testing at all. And they're like, this is what you need. And it's like, but like, this has never been tested at all in any double-blind placebo.
They're pushing all that vitamin A on all those poor kids and filling them full of cod liver oil, which...
Vitamin A has been tested, and we know that you can get vitamin A toxicity, because that's happened forever ago, and now we're seeing it again, because it's like, here, take more vitamin A. It's like, no, please stop.
Corbin, have you considered washing out your wounds with Brain Force Plus and ashwagandha root?
I did
What about that Irish
consider
sea moss?
consuming a bunch of baking soda to help with the inflammation in my body because it's a alkaline substance. And
is it just me, or is inflammation the new toxins? Because for
my favorite is to ask them what inflammatory markers are being elevated.
That's what I mean.
And watch people's brains explode because they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "Well, which inflammatory markers
At
staying
least
elevated?"
For like 5
inflammation
or
is
10
definitely
years.
a known phenomenon, and there's
Right.
definitely emerging literature that says, hey, having a higher degree of inflammation is probably a bad thing. It could be contributing to a lot of things like coronary artery disease and diabetes,
Yes.
etc. So yeah, but what happens is they take buzzwords and then they run with them, and then that
what I
becomes the
mean, yeah.
explanation for everything. So
Is that 5-10 years ago it was like toxins, and it was like, okay, show me a toxin, and then deer in headlights face. And now it's inflammation. And I blame Tom Brady and his stupid TB12. I don't eat tomatoes because tomatoes cause inflation. Go to hell, Tom Brady. That's what I'm
Inflation or
trying to say.
inflammation or both.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
he's a numbers guy, so the first
Yes.
thing that comes to mind is
What would Tom
Inflation.
Brady know about inflation? He only knows about deflation. Isn't that right, Tom? You cheater.
stagflated footballs.
This stream has come out as pro science and anti Tom Brady, and I think that's a safe place to be.
I think
You
so.
know, I'll be sure not to vote for him for like the
Thank you.
All-Star Player of the Year.
If they ever nominate Tom Brady to be the head of Health and Human Services, I'm full RFK Jr. baby. That's what I'm saying.
Yikes.
Oh,
He is part of
God.
the Raiders now, so or isn't he a part owner of the Raiders? Something like
Yeah.
I think
that.
he was
Yeah.
because he had like all those conflicts when he was announcing.
Yeah,
Yeah, he had the weird. Oh, hi Judas. Glad we lulled you to sleep.
I mean, if you want to put on our stream and like go to sleep, that's fine with us. We're not angry about that.
We're gonna be
Just
putting out a series
interactively
of,
before you nod off.
we're gonna be getting our Patreon up and running, and the top tier will be Sean stays on the line with you for 8 hours, singing to you while you sleep.
Mhm.
So
Oh my gosh,
yeah, that'll be
that's a
the.
great
And
idea.
he will do it in his RFK voice. Just don't do it now.
He'll sing to you about vitamins. To help you sleep.
Sean's gonna make up a song about all the fat soluble vitamins, and I'm here for
Oh my
it.
God!
Yeah.
Please make up a song in your RFK voice that goes through the alphabetical order of all the vitamins.
Yes.
Oh my God!
I want to believe that Judas is scared by the zombies here.
Yes, that's why you said yes.
That'd be tough, and I'd have RFK voice permanently after that. I feel
Well,
like.
yeah, don't do that then.
I think that's the
Yeah, 'cause
reason
I'd
I
have to
never
talk to you
played.
all the time. That voice.
I think that's the reason I never played Castlevania
don't.
2. Too scary.
Sure don't.
It's probably fair.
Mhm.
This is Castlevania 2. I got
yeah.
a whole new contract for this one.
This one is open world and has better music, and the sound effects are better.
Definitely.
Pretty much
Yeah.
everything about it is a lot better.
Other than the game itself, but otherwise,
Hey.
much better. I'm just being a silly boy. See, look at those. Look at how happy
use
those
your
dragons
rib.
are.
Bing.
Yeah,
See,
use
I
your rib.
do remember getting to this
Oh,
point and
yes.
getting absolutely just decimated by the like little jumping goo and those like snake dragon skeleton things. And I probably still just had the like starting whip and nothing else. I'm sure.
Corbin had offered to play skiing again, but he
This
was
way.
voted down. Yeah.
I don't remember exactly where I'm supposed to go now. So
I-
we're on an
you know-
adventure now officially.
I would have played this. I would have gone skiing again for Jacob's wife.
It's daytime again.
She really seemed to enjoy that stream.
She just wanted to see you beat that level. That's all. I don't recall you failing it. I thought you beat every level.
dang it.
That's my recollection of that
We
game.
were just free skiing. There was no like real time limits. We were just
False floors.
cruising
Because
around.
you'd already
Oh my
dominated
God.
the game. You didn't need any restrictions.
I was already the
Do I
Tony
need to go
Hawk
down
of
there? I
skiing
think I need to go down
That's
there
right.
anyway. Let's
on
see.
that
Let's
game.
find out.
Only on that game though.
God damn it.
Only on that game.
Hey, there's one of those
Stupid thing.
false
I
walls.
know.
What a great game mechanic.
Oh,
Oh
that's
my
amazing.
god, this is so
Oh, that's amazing.
miserable. Are they? Do you
I
just have
go
to like
here?
We
clear
hate our
it?
gamers.
Oh, there we go.
Mechanic.
What are you talking about? This is fantastic. Fantastic mechanic. It's
That was
just
fine.
Now
every
afraid to
level
walk.
is a
Oh.
surprise.
I was really hoping that very last stone was going to be a fake one.
Yeah.
This
Was it like
ultimate
the
troll.
Santa Cruz? Do you think that's where the Santa Cruz logo got like inspired?
Maybe.
Maybe. That's a really nice background. I like that. That jump looks slightly sketchy. No.
How does
Max
that
is a-
not damage them? That's bullshit.
I
The
know.
reflection, yeah. Yeah, they've given you a lot in this game. They had to take something back.
That's true.
That's fair. They gave you false floors to surprise
Yep.
you with.
I like how it didn't offer anything to begin with, and it's like, oh, here's like a little extra thing here
Yeah, those
now.
things do a
and
lot of
Studios like,
damage.
yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, they
It's
sure
like, know
do.
your worth in your relationship
Oh,
with the
wait.
game.
Oh shoot, it's a dead end. Dang it. So I
What do you
can
mean?
use that blob to bounce me up there. I can't jump that high. So this is not the way I wanted to go. Turns out
You have to use it to bounce you up there.
started you right back there, though. That's
it did.
Alright.
Yeah. So that was at least kind of it.
you didn't want to try and.
Can
bounce
you
up
ride
there?
the blob? What are you
Still?
saying?
Yeah.
You said you could use the blob to bounce him up there.
Uh-oh.
Whoop.
It's all right.
Got a little overzealous.
Getting a little
trying
I
sloppy.
think I can get a password.
what's-
That's kind of fun.
to- Yeah, what's that for?
It's like I think it's kind of a save state. I think.
So it's a save point. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Oh,
They said the thing! They said the thing!
Oh, what's the word we gotta say? Oh, I gotta walk through the goo that hurts. I think that's the
Always
stuff
be
from
branding.
Ghostbusters too.
Is it lava?
Yes, it has to be.
Like just walking through lava?
Look at the purpose with which he walks, though. He'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yes, straight up, that jump is very sketchy. Much like most components of this game.
No. I do like that speedy or I guess he's a zombie, huh?
What's he supposed to do here?
Or is he a Black Lagoon
what
creature?
is he? Because he
I
sort
think he's a
of
Black Lagoon creature.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just put all the
Can I go
monsters in it.
Back
It's
to the
fine.
town here.
Pretty much.
Kind of did.
Oh, well, that was good. You get
Yeah.
to fight him again. Hooray!
Man, those holy waters don't do much to this guy. But the whip. The whip.
The whip.
I think it's the
The
next
whip?
town that I can buy the Morning Star. Oh man, what a horrible night to have a curse.
Oh.
Oh,
What,
man.
what triggers that message to pop up? Is it just
Every
when
6
night falls?
minutes or so? Yeah, or every
I-
3 minutes.
I might be the dumbest person on the planet. I just realized that it's when night falls. Don't mind me.
Yeah, every 3 minutes
Yeah.
is nightfall. Oh, you mean you didn't put
Days are
that together
fast.
till now? Jesus. These things hurt.
Okay, well, okay. Thanks for having my back. Appreciate it.
I mean, just
Wait,
maybe pay more attention.
No,
I don't
who
know.
had your back? I don't think anybody had your back on that one.
I know.
He ducks
Me-
under this stupid thing.
Maybe if I wasn't so snippy to my co-host, they would have my back on these things. But
I
You
mean,
give me grief
you're
all
I'm
the
too
time.
aggressive. Is the problem?
You're so testy all the time that you just pick up on it every time you do it.
Alright, we're at the next town finally.
I love the apology for something I totally did not catch.
It was
I was
that
like,
apology.
What?
It was the best kind of apology, though. It wasn't actually to make you feel better. It was to make me feel better. Like all the
Okay.
best apologies are for.
What should I have? I have 38. Man, I need
So,
some more
like,
hearts.
This is kind of a weird, unrelated topic, but maybe it's related. I don't know. I remember one time, like early in college, I had a dream about physically harming one of my roommates, who is also now one of my best friends. And it was like pretty violent in the dream, and I felt really bad, and I apologized to him for it. And he's like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, I had this like really fucked up dream. I stabbed you in the neck." He's like, "Okay." He's like, "Are you gonna stab me in the neck?" I was like, "No, but I feel really bad that my brain came up with this in my sleep." He's like, "Okay, like you don't have to apologize." I was like, "Yeah, but I need to feel better about it."
It's
Well,
not for you. Just
How
so
many
you're
times have
aware,
you
it's for
woken
me.
up and like your partner's mad at you because of something you did in their dream?
Oh.
I don't want to answer that because they might be watching.
I've had former partners who behaved that way, and it's like, man, I don't know what to
You
say.
can't hold me responsible for that.
Right.
I have a feeling that that's probably every guy in this chat
Yes.
has experienced that.
And I'm not saying like because it's insecurities made manifest is what's happening there. That's what's occurring. And it's like it's okay to have insecurities, but like you probably shouldn't hold your. Well, I'm sorry, I'm speaking too gently now. I need to be a little more testy. It's incredibly unfair to hold your partner responsible for that. So don't.
Also,
All you-
just don't have those dreams.
Yes.
Yeah, don't
all
have
you
those dreams.
all you college age women who are watching the show, don't have those dreams, please.
All 0 of them.
Yeah. Well, no, Sean, everyone knows college girls are huge fans of Castlevania 2.
Right. Pretty sure
And-
Jacob's a college girl.
We are-
And
we are
middle-aged men
definitely
opining.
catering to the Gen Z or Gen Alpha.
Just
Female
cruising
crowd.
through Twitch streams, finding 4 dudes talking into the ether, and being like, you know what, this is where I want to spend my time.
Like, oh, hell yeah. 4 white guys talking about things they kind of know about? Perfect.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for, baby. That diversity of opinion and that amazing conversation. I think we have pretty good conversation, given our limitations.
I mean, I'm here for us, so that's
That's
whatever.
Morning.
Morning sun has vanquished the horrible night.
Yeah, see, when this happens, Brandon,
wasn't that
the
bad.
lights come on and it's daytime. See?
I don't follow. I'll try to keep an eye on the next cycle and see if it's a little clearer to me next
All
time.
right,
But
let us know.
for now, I'm deeply
How
confused.
many hearts do I have? I have 82. Ugh. Can I afford anything here? Can't remember what
I will
need.
say, and I mentioned it before we started the stream, the fact that there's a day and night cycle in this game is actually that's pretty ambitious for
Oh,
original
absolutely.
Nintendo, right?
It's pretty progressive.
That's
the
okay.
time.
Now I don't like it, but
Ooh, morning stuff. 200.
200.
I gotta go
Whoa.
grind.
yeah. How much you have?
He's like halfway
80.
there.
What'd you spend your money on?
Dying.
Hooker's the blow.
Oh.
Oh, I mean dying. Yeah.
Yeah.
definitely from dying.
I just gotta go
Well.
kill a bunch of stuff in the woods.
I hope you at least had fun.
Sure. If you're
All
not,
right.
you're not
It's
doing
like a
it
proto
right.
MMO. You have to grind.
You do, yeah. It
So, yeah.
absolutely is. And that's like
lot
for
of
the
repetition.
background of like conversation. That makes sense. Just,
Yeah, see,
grind
granted,
away.
that's what I was thinking. Was like this has to be like really early in the pantheon of day-night cycle games, right?
Yeah.
Like there can't be that many before it. Did Zelda
Those
2
the,
have a day-night cycle?
I don't,
Sorry, Sean, go ahead.
I don't
I was gonna say, are
remember.
those the ghosts from the original freaking
I did.
or
Oh, there's
the
the-
other Castlevanias?
There's
Mummies.
your mummy friend.
Mhm.
He was
Those
a
are
boss
ghosts,
in the
right?
last
Yeah,
one.
they really
Yeah,
upgraded those ghosts, didn't they?
seriously,
And
they
the
look nice.
mummies.
Yeah, the mummies was like a purple blob in the last game.
Yeah, it was just like a purple humanoid thing.
Yeah.
They were really annoying when they were boss.
That looks like a mummy.
Grant, do you recall if Zelda 2 has a day-night cycle? I'm trying to determine if I don't think it did it? Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay.
Those goblins? Well,
Ooh, I'm not sure.
What are we doing?
Ghosts and Goblins
120?
had a hate you cycle, and it was always on.
yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's probably the
Dark
best
Caves.
way
They have
anybody's
dark
ever
caves.
described that game.
Yeah, less cyclical and more just a
Oh,
state.
that's somewhere
But-
on Max's Crusade of
Oh,
Pain.
Max, do you need to talk about something? Why are you doing this to yourself?
I don't know. I feel better afterwards.
It's
That's-
a weird, like, you accomplish
I
something that
nobody is.
that most
I haven't
people
played
have
Ninja
not.
Gaiden on stream yet, have I? At least on this stream.
Not on stream.
You want to watch me just
yeah.
lose my?
Yeah,
mind.
you did.
You put,
I was on my
okay,
own.
Well, not on his PS. He didn't.
Yeah.
He did just for the boys.
I mean, I was there to watch him beat it, so that felt good.
Yeah. Corbin is your true friend. He stayed with you to the end.
I don't blame
I
you
have
guys for
on-
leaving. I was miserable.
he was not having a good time.
Yeah, you weren't being a very good host. That's the
He's
reason
like,
I left.
Even towards the end, he's like, God, I just want to quit so bad.
Yeah.
But
So,
the
yeah,
sad
I was
reality is
not
with these
honest with
games,
these
like, you
guys.
can't just quit, right? Like, you have to.
Absolutely not.
There's
Nope.
no save points.
Like some of them have rudimentary
again?
ones that.
Well, the code in this one
passwords?
is a little bit. Yeah, the password is a little bit like that.
Yeah, the password's like I think 16 characters long, so no, not
Oh, that's
convenient.
Typing that in on the NES
Right.
controller is super fun, man.
Do you remember you guys had
Takes
Hey, I
an
leveled
hour
up.
to get logged back
Check
in.
it out. Kind of
you guys
forgot
had
about
Game
that as a
Genie,
thing.
right?
Wait, did you get
At
armor?
some point, I did.
Yeah. Do you remember those codes? My God,
Which ones?
Yeah.
the Game Genie codes where you had like
Yeah.
manually
Yeah.
type in, and like the really powerful ones were like 30 characters long or whatever. It was like all the rows going through. Oh, and it worked 25% of the time.
All right, I got enough.
I think I had the Game Genie for Sega, maybe?
I really hope to get to that shop before it becomes nighttime and it closes.
We were a Nintendo family.
No!
I never had a Sega as a kid.
I had both. I had both.
I had the second.
The first
I was a
Sega that I
Sonic
ever owned
baby.
was the Dreamcast.
I had a Genesis and a Super Nintendo at the same
Kill
time.
these things for like 3
That
minutes.
was
I
like
need
That boy,
item.
you were in. You were
I was
in
living my best life, man.
an embarrassment of riches, my friend.
Wait,
The
what did you
Genesis
have?
and the SNES. Yeah,
SNES and a Genesis.
I had both.
I only had a
Jeez.
Nintendo. No Super Nintendo.
Only Genesis.
The elitists, though, at that time had a TurboGrafx 16
I know.
They sure did.
No, what about a Neo Geo?
with Bonk's
Yeah.
Adventure.
Did you guys have any of the obscure ones, like the Jaguar or any of those?
No.
How about you, chat? Anybody in chat have weird, obscure video game systems?
What's the most obscure one you had? I'm trying to think what I had.
Virtual
I-
Boy.
I
Nice.
liked the Virtual Boy. It
Yeah,
hurt
I
your
had a
brain
Virtual
after a
Boy.
while.
Oh,
Though.
yeah.
All
It
that
gave me a
red light.
headache.
There's no way that was good for you.
I'm sure it was fine. I'm sure they did lots of double-blind testing and placebo testing to make sure it was okay.
Totally did. They tested
That was
too.
like so clearly a bad thing to do to a child.
Oh, I got one. I didn't have it, but Keiko did. The N-Gage.
Oh, the end.
Was that the NVIDIA system?
No, it was like a.
What was the N-Gage?
It's like a Nokia.
What?
Yeah,
It was terrible.
it's a
looked
handheld.
movie.
It's like legendarily bad.
All right, hold on. Is
It was a phone-
Yeah, we
N-Gage?
need to bring that up.
You had to hold it
NGG.
sideways.
Oh
like-
my god.
Yeah.
The screen was like 6 millimeters across.
Cake, have you had this?
You
What's
sound
wrong
so
with you? I mean, how was it? Did you like it?
It's-
It looks
Oh,
great.
that thing. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like
What?
a Game Gear hooked up with a cell phone.
Yeah. There's an emulator for it, which is fantastic. Like, there are no good games on it.
no.
No, I can't. Who would develop anything? Although there is a picture of Lara Croft on one. Did they make a Tomb Raider game for this?
I'm pretty
Friend-
sure, like, Tomb
Friend
Raider.
says he had the I gotta go outside.
I had no idea.
That was probably the best game system you could have
How
ever
about the
had.
you have a
3DO?
three-
I
do you
always
have a
wanted
3DO?
the 3DO. I could not convince my parents that I needed that in my life.
Which one
So,
was the
yes,
3DO?
Tomb Raider, Tennis, SSX, Red Faction, The King of Fighters Extreme, Bomberman, Sega Rally, The Elder Scroll Travels Shadow Key,
Gosh.
Yeah, but Bethesda will publish anything, so that makes sense.
Pandemonium. Oh,
I'm
Tony
just
Hawk's
waiting
Pro
for
Hockey.
daytime so I can buy the stupid Morning
Rayman
Star
3,
Whip.
What was
Monkey
the-
Ball, a game called One, Sonic, and Snakes was number one.
I mean, they had a decent little
Eh,
for being. I mean, if you look at this thing, and
There we go.
I mean, for
Finally.
being what it was, they had a decent little
Finally.
library, I guess.
The
What was-
N-Gage?
Did we get a
Yeah.
Morning Star now?
Almost.
What was the
about to go buy
Philips?
it.
There was a
video game
Metal
system?
Gear on it too, apparently.
What was the
golf.
Philips one? The Philips CDI.
The 3DO.
Resident
Oh,
Evil?
CDI, yeah. Gosh, I
That had
love
the terrible Zelda games on it. That was.
Wait,
was-
hold on. Age of Empires?
On
On
N-Gage?
the N-Gage?
How would that even work?
I get Age of Empire and Master Strategy games. Spread out a pocket size near perfection. It was
By the way, you
prequel?
can only store 256 hearts. So if you just thought, I'm going to grind and get all this stuff up front, nope.
Not for you.
Sorry.
That actually is a pretty good mechanic, I think.
Yeah,
When
it
did the three-
forces you to keep moving.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm okay with
3DO
that.
was in the 90s.
3DO, and then Atari Jaguar was, a
Yeah.
thing. I
The
never
90s
played.
really was kind of the peak of gaming.
Check out the Morning
Oh,
Star,
boy.
though.
This is about the 3DO. The system was released in Japan in March 1994 with an initial lineup of 6 games. The Japanese launch was moderately successful with 70,000 units shipping to 10,000 stores. However,
getting
sales soon dropped, and by 1995, the system was known in Japan as a host for pornographic releases.
Classic Japan.
Did not know
Also-
that was a thing.
Also, love the wording there. Well done, Wikipedia.
I like that you're one-shotting all of those things now.
Yep.
Oh, did you get the upgrade?
Yep.
Which one is this?
Morningstar?
Morningstar.
Oof.
Oh.
This is a terrible platforming mechanic.
Nice.
I was
Okay,
trying
I
to find
just
a list
bought
of
that.
games for it, but I'm not having any luck here.
That's all right. It's really fine.
Oh, you could use a mouse on it.
Do you remember when you could do like Mario Paint on
Oh yeah.
Super
Oh, yeah.
Nintendo, yeah.
SNES? Yeah, it came with a little mouse pad.
Oh yeah.
Ugh, that was hard. Jesus. All right, so you come over here, right?
Uh-huh.
And people would just be like, "What do I do?" And so
Yeah,
what
I
you're
would
supposed to do is you equip this, and then you kneel down, and you wait for your
because,
tornado
yeah.
of freedom.
Who would be able to figure that out? What?
Oh, so I see. Mario 3 stole the idea for summoning a tornado to move you to the next level. Stole it from Castlevania 2.
Like,
Amazing.
I understand if this is like a
Unacceptable.
super hidden side quest, but this is like a main part of the game.
I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm supposed to be here yet, but we're here.
Dranith brings up the Turbo Graphics 16.
Yeah. Turbo
Oh,
Graphics.
actually,
yeah.
we're gonna go one
Yeah.
other place before I come.
I had mentioned that because
Oh, I
that,
missed it,
had,
sorry.
that had Bonk's Adventure, and that's all the like rich kids
Oh.
had the Turbo Graphics 16.
I think
it was
Remember,
like,
it had little cards, right? It was like little cards.
if I remember right, yes.
I remember Bonk's Adventure. God, what a weird looking game.
Yeah.
Oh, this was the crazy one where like you would.
All right, ready, Brandon?
I'm ready. I'm watching.
Do you have your blue crystal set, or is it?
Oh, I have to
regular.
equip it. Thank you. Yes, I was just kneeling like an idiot for no reason.
You
Yeah,
were
who would do that?
praying to the lake.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
Yep, you just have to know that. It's the thing
Was there
that
a
you
little
do.
water sound effect there when it moved down?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a nice touch.
Really filled in the environment nicely.
I think it did.
Yeah.
Speaking of filling in the environment,
Oh my.
jump into this other article here.
A plus
Oh,
There's
segue.
another
Yeah.
article?
Yeah, there's another one. So
Oh my
here's
god.
a fun one, because we kind of talked about the importance of needing to go outside, as Brenda mentioned in
You wanna go
chat,
side?
and technology that we've been talking about and how some of it's pretty terrible. Well,
Oh, here
there's
we
an
go.
article that was recently published in Psychology Today. Actually, it was published today. And it talks
Nice.
about the digital invasion and how it sets off tech trauma. And what it kind of breaks down
Fire whip.
is
Yeah, fire whip.
how, and I think it kind of reinforces things that we already just know, with being in a developed country that is essentially we are all chronically online. And
That's
it
can't
looked
prove
really
that.
at,
online right now.
Yeah.
it looked at this Brazilian rainforest tribe called the Anamari, which was an indigenous community within the Brazilian rainforest, and how in the very recent past they have started gaining technology through cell phones and things like Starlink, and how it is now starting to kind of erode their culture. Max, you can't swim. I don't know if you
Oh,
can.
hold
Thank
on.
you.
How do you think Jacob feels about the Brazilian culture?
Weird question. Moving on.
I think the Kanamari probably do not apply to the Brazilian culture as a whole, since they were initially kind of an isolated indigenous tribe that was
Right.
living in isolation. So I don't know if that would really apply to Brazilian culture as a whole.
Where am I going here?
Certainly not League of Legends.
Go up there.
And definitely, I don't think they're playing League of Legends.
Don't think they
yet.
have League of
But give
Legends
it-
there
give
yet.
it some
Well,
time, and
actually,
it
based
sounds
on that
like they might.
article, I don't know.
Well,
It sounds like they might. But it's an interesting look at. So it gave the analogy of like when you throw a frog into like a pot of boiling water, it's gonna jump out because it's hot, right? It's like, oh god, I can't be in here. It's gonna jump out. But then if you put the frog in the cold water and then turn it on and heat the water slowly, by the time it realizes something bad is happening, it's like already too late. And
Right.
it is a kind of an
Analogy
interesting
makes me
breakdown.
sad.
It is a really sad analogy, but it does paint a really good picture of like kind of how technology affects all of us,
Nice.
and we are just immersed in it all the time, right? Like we have kids that are just raised with iPads now that know nothing other than staring at a
would've-
screen.
I would have loved to be an iPad kid. I would have been such an iPad kid. I just,
Oh, 100%.
I mean,
I would have too, and I'm really glad that I was not.
I don't know.
with that said, like I'm not a parent.
like-
I don't mean to. I don't think we're casting aspersions on any parent who is.
No.
an iPad parent.
Are you kidding
I
me?
totally understand why people do it, but like
Right.
I'm very glad that my dad, even when I had my game systems as a kid, would at some point come in and be like, "All right, turn it off, go outside." Oh,
Yeah,
I don't want to.
But
Get
if
outside.
I have the choice, but if I have the choice between a kid like sitting there screaming in a restaurant or a kid like playing on an iPad, give me the iPad child every time, please.
Yeah, I
I
would.
mean, anyway, yeah.
I would have been that kid by so far, and I would have been happily that kid. I still to this day can't stand doing things that are like not on the internet, like camping. I can't go camping. Camping is the worst thing on earth.
I'm not a big fan of camping.
I feel like if I was an iPad kid, I wouldn't have noticed any difference.
No, camping is the best. You don't have service.
No, camping is the abject worst activity to
Oh
spend
no,
your time doing.
oh, so good.
It sounds horrific to me. But
I intentionally go to places on a weekly basis where there's no cell service, so that I don't have to communicate with anybody. It's the best thing ever. Like my phone just exists purely to take pictures, and that's it. Like there's nothing.
I'm getting anxious.
Although
from you
then I
saying
get
that.
back into service, and then I'm bombarded with text messages from you guys.
I haven't.
Well,
Well,
that's how it
okay.
works.
First of all, you should appreciate your boys. Thank you very much.
I
Uh-huh.
very much do.
Second of all, you can just turn your phone off in a service area and not look at it. I
All right,
promise
let's
you can
add.
do it.
Hey, chat. I saw one
Same with
person who
text.
likes camping. Who else hates camping as much as I do? 'Cause-
I'm gonna guess Duranus is on this team. Duranus on our team, Max.
Yeah, he's a sensible person.
Sean,
I
pick a
don't-
side.
We work
you-
so
I like
hard
camp.
as a civilization to leave the woods
camp
and
boy.
be warm and clothed at all times, and then it's like, oh no, let's just go out there and be kind of slightly sad all the time.
Are you fucking going out naked into the camping?
It's
Yes.
cold out
Like,
there.
What are you doing?
No, look, you can go to the outdoors, but just like go back indoors.
That's what your tent is. It's indoors.
No, it's not. That is not indoors. That is
Your
under
tent does not have a door.
canvas. That is
It does have a
just
door.
being
It's a zip
uncomfortable
door.
and not sleeping all night.
And they make you pay money for it. They make you pay money for the privilege of.
Ooh, I got a
having an
really big tent.
uncomfortable
Oh,
night.
I'm just more
Yeah.
uncomfortable and more space.
Hi, Retro J.
Hey, what's up,
I-
Retro
I-
J? I know
I
this
believe
guy.
you're a Max friend.
Castlevania
Yes,
2.
Castlevania
Oh, dude,
2.
this isn't Retro J. This is the Retro J. This is the
Pardon me. I didn't mean
extraordinaire. Oh, Retro J has
the
been.
Retro J.
I've been following his stream since last year when I started streaming, and it's good people, man. Welcome in. Yeah, Jay, we're
Thanks for being
playing
here, Retro J.
Castlevania 2 and talking about how much camping is not fun to do, or at least I'm talking about that.
No,
camping-
I'm with you.
Max and Brandon are wrong, but that's
We're
okay.
we're equally split.
They
There's two
are-
civilized people here, and there's two barbarians in the SPS.
They are both very correct in a lot of ways, but in this one they're just not, and that's okay.
Camping's good.
No,
Yes,
All right.
Lucian
it's
gets
just
it.
not.
I'm about to get testy, Corbin. Don't start.
You know, maybe next time you should eat a couple of edibles and sit by the campfire and just let the sounds of outside
Okay,
hit your
I will.
brain. And it is probably
See,
one
Jay
of
gets
the
it. Jay gets it.
most relaxing things ever.
Thank you, Jay. It's 3-2 now.
Ah,
The
Yeah,
pro
if you-
civilization
wait.
people win.
Who's getting dirt in their food? What kind of camping?
You
are
can't
you
not
guys-
get
yeah,
dirt in your
how-
food.
I
It's-
literally
I eat dirt
don't
all the
get
time,
dirt in
Corbin.
my food. Like,
yeah,
what
that's
is happening?
impressive. Like, are you just like in the ground, like, oh, this is seasoning? Like, what? How you
Yes.
I
always eat
have
my food off the
eaten
floor.
the absolute worst things while camping. Like, okay, look, let's separate out. They taste good because you're sad and you're around a campfire and you just spent all day making whatever, and you're just like, this is sustenance, and it gives me something to do for 20 minutes while I eat this. But I spent 4 hours cooking it, and I dropped it 6 times in the fire, and my hands are covered in dirt. And I'm just so happy to have any semblance of civilization, meaning food, that I'm going to eat this and pretend like it's not coated in worms and mud.
I'm really concerned at how you're camping. Is this
Yeah,
I
And
feel
cooking.
like you're doing it all wrong.
I'm told that I've gone camping for. Oh god, stupid game. I'm told that
Next
I've gone
block.
camping in like. Oh my god.
Another block, Max.
Can I extend an olive branch to the pro campers?
No.
I will
No.
say the best part of camping is the food.
Okay, that is
Not
fair.
fair.
The food in the campfire.
You got s'mores, you got weenies. Hot dogs. Sorry, to be clear.
Glizzies.
Glizzies. Yeah, you got them fire
Yeah,
cooked glizzies, brother. Like that's a good part of camping.
Well,
I'll
yeah.
give you that.
The other thing is, and I agree with Jay as well. Like I like bathing every day too. Like it's just the grossest existence
That's
when you're out
fair.
camping for
I get
several
that.
days. And
Oh,
you know,
see, I don't care about that.
no.
Five says
it's-
you made amazing breakfast burritos.
No, my wife made those.
Okay.
Oh.
She enjoys camping, so she made those. That's why.
She's experienced. She knows what's up.
Yeah, she grew up camping, so she has like this weird nostalgia attached to it. We had to reach an agreement. I'm like, I don't think I'll ever like this. Can you spend time with your family in the woods instead of me? She's like, yeah, that's fine. I think I have to do something here. Let me see.
Oh yeah, I'll go camping with your wife and her family.
Fair? No, go for it.
That does not sound like a bad time. And in all fairness, like there
I
are
just
times
dropped that
too that,
garlic
like
for no
I have
reason.
tried to convince my girlfriend. I'm like, we need to go like backpacking camping, and
Pick
she
it
is
up.
like, absolutely not. No, there's
Yeah,
not a
but-
realm on this planet where she's like, I am doing that. And I'm like, come on, doesn't it sound fun to
I'm
strap a
understanding.
50-pound backpack to your back and go hike for like 15 miles and then just set up camp in the middle of nowhere? And she's like, no,
Did
that
it?
sounds terrifying. And I'm like, okay, that's okay.
Can we talk
That's
about how
fair.
the garlic looks very sus? Like
I
Max,
we
go to that
could.
pause menu.
What are you talking about?
Like
Well,
it looks a little sus.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
well,
I'm like,
right.
when you dropped, I was like, I thought you just dropped there, Max.
I feel like the left side is lower than the right, so anatomically speaking.
Is anatomically correct.
garlic.
This was-
Anatomically
this
correct
was-
garlic.
First
Ugh,
game that had teabagging in it.
literally. What is this nonsense?
What is happening?
Is that just boulders?
I can't trust the ground,
Yeah.
and now the ceiling's falling.
It's random rocks.
It's
That's
The
just-
ground is lava, ceilings are rocks.
I
Tough
would
day
have.
for you.
Oh
Did
my
I just
God,
come all the
would've-
way over here for no reason?
Yeah.
When you dodge the rocks, don't you feel better?
I
Uh,
would have laughed if you got to, like, as you were
You got your
running through
crystal
there.
duck. Seems to do
Right?
stuff.
Yeah. Why didn't you do that?
What's that?
Seems like
I don't
be the
think it
go-to
works there,
move in
but
this
you know what?
Go
Why not?
Charge,
Why not?
Charge up the crystal. Just run.
Yeah. All right, you want me to try it here? Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, I have it equipped.
Use your crystal.
Nope.
Look, it's summoning a skeleton.
Is it a?
He's slowly sauntering towards you. Like, yeah, he doesn't
He's
see
trying-
me yet.
He is trying to use his crystal.
What kind of crystal is it? Is it a quartz?
It's a red crystal.
Amethyst?
No,
Ruby?
he had the blue, and then he traded for the red because
Yeah.
you know, reasons. I don't know. There was some guy who was like, I want blue. Here's red.
It's Nintendo
Thank
rules.
you.
One or the other is a power up.
I got it. I'm like way turned around in this stupid castle or mansion, as it were.
Corey, I'm so sorry. We distracted from the with the camping.
Yeah.
I don't even know what.
Well, you started talking
now.
about indigenous people and like
And
then
living
exposed to
living off the
technology.
land and enjoying nature because and then so what happened here? So they gave them cell phones basically, and then they all devolved into what we are.
Yeah, essentially that's kind of what it is. But they did it in such a rapid pace that like they have no discerning like. So they now have access to things like Facebook, and then some other app that's
That's the problem. I mean,
Similar-
it picks
similar
better.
to, like,
yeah.
it's basically like another smaller Chinese version of TikTok. And so now you essentially have a bunch of people who have had zero experience in the internet ever that suddenly just got plugged into a well-developed
the
internet
worst parts of it.
through,
Just
through
the worst.
Starlink. And now like they're bombarded with
Right.
in some cases AI images and videos that they can't tell are like not real because they have not developed like a discerning eye or
Oh, I missed
anything
Right.
when it comes to that kind of stuff. They are now bombarded with like misinformation, and they're finding that like now they're handling boredom the same way that we do by just like doom scrolling like some of these apps. I was like, oh, this is sad. We're like dissolving their culture
Yeah.
like, through this. And like in some cases, they even are coming across like pornographic material, and they don't know what to do with it because it's like it's just not something that they were really ever exposed to before.
What are you supposed to do?
And
Like-
so it's a really good like insight into kind of like a condensed version of what we have all experienced and kind of what we all sort of know.
Right.
in just kind of our everyday experience, essentially since, I don't know, Friendster or MySpace came into existence.
It's been a pretty rapid development of going
Super
from what
rapid.
the internet, right? So, and it's definitely changed the way that we
What am I supposed to do here?
not just interact, but I mean, it's changed our entire method of communicating with one another. And I don't know that that we're any better studied on it than an indigenous culture as far as like we don't know the long-term effects of what this is going to do to the human mind, like all this exposure to, like, I thank God that social media wasn't a thing when I was in high school. Like, sounds horrific. Your most vulnerable time as far as like your self-esteem and your development of your self-image, and you're constantly, but there's no escape from your classmates. There is no, go home and let's see. Retro J watched the WR speedrun for this game
The
live.
world record? That's pretty
wow.
crazy. You're watching the opposite of that right now.
I was gonna say, how's this holding up?
I don't know where to go here, Brandon.
So and you're right, like social media in high school, but it's not just the like constant like being plugged into like your friends. Like think about like the things that influenced us in high school, and like where we were getting like some of those messages, and it was like generally magazines and music and like MTV, right? And then like we didn't have like this influencer culture that like helps shape. Like I am very glad that I'm not 17 this day and age, just because of like the way social media has like kind of distorted people's images of themselves or what is like good and cool, and and that in all fairness, like I'm sure our parents and grandparents probably said the same thing about us. They did not have the exposure to like MTV and a lot of these magazines and stuff that like we did.
Speaking of
sure it's all
but speaking like in the circles that I run in, I can tell you that like one of the things that's absolutely horrifying is that perpetuates on social media is like the way that people understand fitness these days, and attractiveness as well. But like you get an endless feed of these teenagers that are on anabolic steroids, and there's all these posts about like, oh, if you can't bench 225 by the time you're 21 or whatever, then you're never gonna be a man.
By the time you're 30, what are you doing with your life?
No, for real,
dude. Like,
as Jay pointed out, this generation is behind the eight ball.
Yep, he did in exactly
My
those
paraphrase.
words.
Get back. Okay.
But yeah, it's really, I don't know, that kind of stuff is, you're young and developmental and developing, and like you don't know, like you're the person who is pushing out this image of this amazing life that they're living, who it's false. It's it's very much an advertisement.
It's cultivated. You got a little bit of it.
Correct. Yeah. And they're telling you to like just go ahead and change your hormones while you're still developing. That'll be fine.
There's nothing bad that will ever come from that.
What could possibly come from that? So it just
As far you're talking about like taking steroids for the 225 bench before you're 13 kind of thing. Yeah, I mean
right. Yeah. This crazy the standards are just out of control. It's that way for physical fitness. It's that way for just general attractiveness.
I didn't mean to set the bar that high. My apologies.
Well, in all actuality, though, it wasn't you. It was when Corbin had his hair down that one stream. You were a close second.
It's fair. It's fair.
I will wear it down next time. I'll make sure it's freshly
yeah,
washed.
that was too much for the stream to handle. We had to put that one wasn't for children because it was too far.
Got the not safe for work tag on it.
Came in looking far too good.
That's what happens.
You can't actually wear pants on that one then.
It offset the beauty and the magnetism of the hair. Max, I'm on the walkthrough, but I have no idea where you are.
I don't either.
They've named these areas, and I'm trying to look at like.
I think you have to like look at a map to, like a Nintendo Power map to actually understand where they are.
Do you have the original copy of Nintendo Power to go with it?
I don't have any. I would kind of like a few just because, but they have to be ones. I'm not out to collect them for just their sake.
Anybody in the chat,
Bye, Sean.
Max does have a birthday coming up, so if you'd like to get him some copies of Nintendo Power, you can you can send them to us.
I have one copy of a video game magazine, and it's not going to
Which
help
Final
me.
Fantasy game is it?
It's the very first episode, or it's the very first issue of PlayStation Magazine because it was about Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, God, I nailed that.
I know.
I,
But
I was just gonna say, like,
man.
I'm not beating the one-trick pony allegations here. but-
I saw that coming a mile away, man.
You know who else is a big fan of Final Fantasy VII? Retro J.
good man.
My man.
Just did a playthrough recently, didn't you?
I don't think that holy water is doing anything to that.
It's pausing him for a second. Nice thing is I've gotten most of the like powerful weapons in the game, so like, I've done at least that much.
All right, you're making progress.
I'm making
We're
progress.
items.
Doing things.
Yeah, I mean, I
Doing
don't know what
things,
your
stuff.
Yeah, you have to collect Dracula parts. Do you have any more Dracula parts, or are you
I
just hanging out
don't
with the dog
actually.
bone? Okay.
No, I don't.
Just his dog bone.
Yeah. In Brahm Mansion, there's an eyeball. You can get Dracula's eyeball. Is that
I
helpful?
don't know which mansions are which. I went to that
Um,
other mansion. I couldn't go
Are
anywhere.
you saying that they aren't labeled as specific mansions?
Unless you can
Oh.
read those signs on the wall, which I can't.
Oh, there's a boss. you
I'm
have to fight
surprised
to
that
get.
you can't read those.
Have you fought any
thought-
bosses
I
yet?
thought you were a
No.
doctor.
I've cleared one mansion. There's 4 more to go.
Okay, let's see. Brahm
How
Mansion.
many pieces of Dracula are there?
It's weird. rest
Ribs,
of
eye,
Yeah, there's
That's most of
ribs,
a human.
eye, heart.
heart.
Yeah.
Let's live here together. Did you just get enslaved in that?
Uh-oh.
What happens if you pray with your crystal?
I, probably nothing.
What happens if you keep going all the way to the right? Because there's no wall there.
We can keep going. We're adventuring now. We're gonna find
We
out
are-
where it goes,
we
and
are
then
lost.
by next stream, I'll be able to speedrun
Don't push Max to the right, Corbin.
fast.
We don't want that.
fast-moving zombies.
These are like the
Oh, just leveled up.
20 days later
Oh.
zombies.
Your bird friend is back. Oh, I think your bird friends
Gaiden.
were in Ninja Gaiden. I don't think they were in the first Castlevania, were they?
No.
Yeah, I don't recall.
There
any
were
birds.
some birds in that.
Oh yeah, there were.
They dropped
actually.
all
There
the
were.
flea men.
Oh, you're right.
Burst.
Yeah. These are more like the Ninja Gaiden burbs. Kind of hang out and then dive bomb you.
She knows.
Was there any kind of conclusion on that poor tribe, Corbin, or was it just
Um,
that like their lives are bad now because we gave them cell phones?
We destroyed their lives. That's really the
Oh.
gist of it. So the things
that
that I
way.
kind of talked about, the kind of like symptoms that sort of mirror our own, is that they've kind of fallen into the dopamine
Right.
like
The hits that
seeking
you need.
behaviors of
Yeah.
like so you get these little dopamine bursts when you see interesting stuff.
Some
So
spookies.
you know, like they're now becoming impacted by these algorithms that are designed to just keep us scrolling all the time. And then on top of that, like it's the same things that we experience, right? Like we as a race or humanity, I guess, we're so connected, but also like completely disconnected at the same time. Like we're just always plugged in, but like our social interactions tend to actually go down because like we're just constantly online or texting or
Yeah.
you know streaming or whatever, right? And so like nobody's like doing the things together that they should be doing to like kind of reinforce their relationships with like family members and friends and things like that. And then of course like they're running into kind of the younger people within these tribes are, you know, they're experiencing the same things that we sort
They're
of talked
sending
about,
each
but,
other
like,
dumb Instagram
just-
videos like we do.
I have a feeling that they are doing that, but they're also they're getting influenced by the things that they see, and it's, you know, it comes back to kind of what we talked about, where like I'm glad that I was not 17 and scrolling TikTok or Instagram all the time. Like, oh my god, I'm glad that that was not a thing.
And I'm not sure what it's like on Instagram, but I think like these days, I admit, like I've tried to convince myself that because I mainly use TikTok for dog videos that I'm okay, but it's still I'm subject to the dopamine hit. That's what's happening there. Like I understand
Yeah.
it, I just deny. Go ahead, Sean.
I say, or you could just get a dog and save yourself the scrolling, time.
Good point.
I'm
Good
just
point.
saying, it's not.
I know I just feel bad about leaving one at home all day while I work.
Do both.
Take it,
Take it to
it's
work.
fine. Yeah.
That's actually a better answer.
Or quit your job.
So,
Take,
these are all good ideas.
call it a service animal and take it to work.
Yeah, there you go.
And if
Horrible
anybody
night to have a
questions
curse.
it, just say that it's a dog that can count really fast, and it helps you do your job.
Excellent.
Well,
Teach it to count, and then nobody will ever doubt you.
I
Calculus
want
dog.
to get a miniature dachshund, like one of the long-haired ones, because they're super adorable. But now that I know they can survive in Australia for 18 months on their own, I can also
Okay.
claim that it's a guard dog. So that's another callback.
Your
Go watch our
bodyguard.
previous streams. Give us views.
All of them.
Yep.
Because now our dopamine
No,
is dependent on views.
What is kind of, I guess, if there is like any like silver lining in any of this or any amount of hope, is that at least I don't want to call them the elders, but the adults within these tribes, they are also quickly recognizing the issues that are arising from like having this sudden like influx of technology and information and influence and all this, kind of the negative aspects of being
run back
plugged in.
here. This sucks.
And so they essentially they're turning off the internet at night. So they use Starlink. So essentially they shut the thing down at night, and so it forces everybody to kind of like come back together and do the things that are kind of culturally normal for them. And so
They're parenting everyone. You're cut
Yeah,
off.
yeah, that's exactly what they're doing, and it's not a bad
Oh,
thing,
no,
and
Max.
like they don't look at it as
No, it's
like,
fine.
hey, we're like shutting this down because we don't want it, but
Oh, you're
like
gonna
we
make me
also
do that again?
understand the restraint of like not being chronically online, which I don't know. Maybe we should all take a page from them at some point. 'cause-
Probably should. Even me.
Yeah, but do I
except it's
do
still
I have
not
to go
going
camping, or can I just go do something else?
No, you have to go camping
Don't go
with
camping.
me. You have to go camping with me.
You know how many
Oh.
times I've been told that? You just haven't gone camping with the right people. I'm camping with my wife, and she loves every minute of it. That's not the right people. I've done like camping in good weather, camping in rain, camping in. Nope, it's just all bad. All
I'm sorry, I
bad.
didn't mean to re-trigger Van.
Yeah, but have you
Max.
gone camping in snow yet?
my God.
Because if you haven't, you're
No, I
missing
watched
out.
that one guy do it on the internet.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's terrible.
That's the best part. You love watching.
Oh, the guy that just
Yeah.
eats nothing but honey butter on everything.
the man who dips bacon fat in honey butter.
Yeah, he does it. He does it
That
to
dude
drown his
rules.
sorrow at going camping all the time. He goes camping
He seems to
just
really
to
have a
make
good
himself
time.
sad.
I don't know. He seems to have a good time doing it, and I'm proud
I don't
of
know
him.
how I'm supposed to get back. Did I hit a
I
dead
mean,
end?
let's see, same with going to the river in 110-degree weather when I go cook for hours.
You get
Jay, you're preaching to
I
the
don't
choir.
know what you guys are doing to go camping that like makes it like, you're cooking for hours. Like it takes me like 10 minutes to make dinner. Like I don't know what you guys are doing.
You gotta
no, I
start
think
the
it
fire.
Takes a couple glizzies, not long.
But
I think-
I don't even have to use a fire. I just use my little camp stove. And
No, I
I've
think
done
Retro
it
J is
like
saying
10 minutes.
when
Propane stove. Get
I think
a
you're
fucking cast
misunderstanding.
iron on there. You're good.
Retro J is saying when you go to the river in 110-degree weather. I think he's saying literally you are cooking because you're on the. Yeah,
Ah,
see,
yeah.
there you go.
It's fair.
Oh,
It's a ginger,
just-
yes, I am.
in
Yes.
the water. Okay. That's literally that's what I do on a weekly basis. I go
You
to the
can't
river.
cook things in water, Jay. What are you saying?
Ah, I almost made it out. Go away, skeleton. That was a terrible dead end that I just learned is a thing. No wonder kids hated this game.
All right, Durant betrayed us. He seems to be pro camping, so he's not on our team.
Yeah.
So I think it's 3-3.
Trianeth knows what's up.
I know Judas is not going to be a camping fan, so
There's
I've got
no
him on my
way
side.
he is.
No. I will speak for Griffins in this.
Five says he is.
Yeah,
loves
5 is
him.
Oh,
definitely a
shoot.
camper. I know.
So
him
we're
well enough.
4-4 now. Ah, crap.
Yeah.
We need a ninth member of the
Well,
Supreme
I know-
Court to break
I
the
know-
tie.
I know geriatric likes to camp, so there's
Does
that.
he?
Oh.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see that.
He likes to camp.
I'm pretty positive K-Cup doesn't, so
That
gets
is
back to 5
that is
There's
also-
no way.
We're back to
K-Cup
5 to
likes
5.
camping.
That man does not like being outside in the sun at all.
No.
His mood is directly proportional to the amount of sunshine on his skin.
I think I have to go all the way back to like earlier. Whoa, jeez.
The best was like Vegas last year. Like, let's go to the pool. Jake's like, no, I'm not doing that.
It was like 110 degrees outside. I was out there for 30 minutes, 4 coats of sunscreen. I'm like, I'm going back in. This is silly.
I mean, in all fairness, there was no cover at all, and
Yeah.
we were standing next to
I'm
a
gonna just
giant
die
black reflective like building. So it was
Okay.
Luxor, yep.
Okay.
so hot. Dude.
It was pretty miserable.
That was, and then we were just hanging out in a dirty pool with a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Somehow
maybe
from
that's-
the same city we were from. It's kind of like, oh,
Super
You don't
random.
have to go to
Yeah,
Vegas for
it's-
that. Just hang out with your boys.
We chose a bunch of strangers for some reason.
Bunch of strange
That's fair.
dudes. Nice.
Yeah.
Not
You
that
gotta
there's
mix it up
anything wrong
sometimes.
with that, but you
There's
know.
nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Gotta mix it up sometimes. I get it.
Just standing in, like, it felt like bathwater, to be honest. It was kind of gross.
well, it was so warm.
Yeah, it's a lot
too.
of,
It's like
a
not
lot of
comfortable.
humans in that pool.
You
Those
guys are just
humans are
being,
definitely leaching into that pool.
You
There's
guys are
like
being
a
like
little-
sous vide cooked.
There's like a little slick of sunscreen on the
Sous
top
vide.
of it, too.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
All the way
gross.
back to this other stupid castle.
Amazing. Amazing.
Uh,
So anyway, yeah, I think the indigenous people of Brazil will.
we gave them Facebook and it hurt their entire culture, just like
we,
ours.
we did. We
But
did.
did they give them Twitch and did they tell them to tune in to Save Point Society Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 p.m.
Probably
Eastern time?
should let them know.
10:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Honestly,
usually let
I'd
them
rather
know.
hang out
Maybe-
in AC than
maybe-
go. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Jay. Hey, that's
Maybe we
absolutely
should
the way to go.
start targeting those kinds of people and get to them before anybody else does.
Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe. Blue Sky, Instagram, YouTube.
What was the name of the tribe? Can we get one? If we get one of them as a follower, we have to quit. We're done.
They are the Kanamari.
Kanamari.
If you're in the Kanamari tribe and you're for some reason watching this, like and subscribe.
Or if you know somebody in the Kanamari tribe,
Please tell me I
send them
can
our
walk
way.
into this building after the curse.
Or if you like Brazil, you should subscribe.
We're also
Just- I
deeply
was-
sorry
Like,
that we
if-
forced cell phones
or,
on you.
or if you like anything at all, you should just subscribe.
I think I need
Yeah,
to
That's it,
die.
because we'll talk about it eventually. If you have any ideas for subjects you'd like us to cover, please email us, savepointsociety@gmail.com, or leave a comment in one of our YouTube videos, or whisper us on Twitch, or send
Yeah.
us a
The
skeet on Blue
whispering's the
Sky.
creepiest one. I like that one.
I
You know,
really hate
if you
saying
wanna-
whisper us. Yeah.
If you want to send, a carrier pigeon to my house with a little note that says that you want us to cover a certain topic, I will
That also
will
works.
accept that as well.
His cat will kill it and deliver the message to him.
Dude, you have not met my cat. There's no way of catching anything.
Yeah, I guess it's just
He's,
chilling.
he's 18 and he was never agile in the first place, so
Definitely
he's not.
wasn't.
He is not going to do any of that.
But he's incredibly photogenic. Look at that pillow.
He is incredibly
I'm trying to
photogenic,
think. So I went.
He's awesome.
and he is
He's a
currently.
bad
I
sleeping.
feel like I'm in this
Good
weird
night, Five.
Ouroboros here, where good night, Five, where I can't get back to where I started this map. You know what I mean?
I have no idea where you are. I feel like you've been in the same area for the past.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we're back. And we're live.
Back.
What
What
just
happened there?
Was that your
Uh,
system or was that a Twitch
Hold on a
thing?
second. My computer's trying to randomly protect my hard drive from allowing Twitch or anything else to access its information. So let me just remedy this really quick.
Like,
Lovely.
hey, you've been doing this for like 2 hours. How about you
Yeah.
We'll use
I
this
feel like
now.
your security's been sleeping on the job,
Yeah.
brother.
Well, hold on.
It just
Wait
sort
a
of
minute.
randomly is like, hey,
What's going on?
I just want to like make sure you want your hard drive is still unlocked. I'm like, yeah, no, I do. I definitely do. Thank you. All right, we're good.
Amazing.
We're back. We're back.
That's amazing.
Wait,
I'm a big fan of
do I
that.
just go over here this whole time? Have I been here? No, I haven't been this way.
It all looks.
I don't remember
the
the
same.
fire
I
mummy.
I don't know.
The
It
flame
seems
guy.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Go pee on.
Oh, that guy's new.
Yep.
He's new.
I think we're,
Gotta
I
get
think
my
we're somewhere
shield.
else.
Yeah, we're somewhere
Okay.
else.
I'm not gonna lie. A flame whip and a flame guy don't think they should mix, you know? Or if anything, it would heal him.
You would
I'm
think.
just going
that's-
off video game rules.
Maybe it's different fire. One's like ice fire,
Oh.
and the other one's fire.
That's
Okay,
clearly
I
what's
like
happening.
Look,
Right?
fire,
Oh, man.
all fires.
One's cold fusion, and the other one is just plain old combustion fire.
Warm fusion.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, well this is a new direction at least. Oh, for crying out loud.
There's something in the
Sure is.
water.
Oh, I don't like that. Don't let that.
Is
Yeah,
that
keep,
a flying
keep it out from
bug?
underneath you, Max. Don't let
Yeah, is that
under you.
that? You ever see that dragon? Appendage that's used for things. Looks like
Is
that.
that
on
the
a
four-
flag.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit, Sean? I don't know.
I think that's the Four Loco forearm, if
You
I'm not
definitely
mistaken.
don't
Yeah,
I think
need
that's
to
what that
elaborate on
is.
The
What is this endless pool of misery? What is
I think it's
happening
called the
here?
dragon.
I don't think you're gonna make it through this pool.
No, I need to. There's an
Just
item
about,
I need.
just about, okay. Maybe try again. You had it.
You
So
were
close.
real
All right, we're
close.
going this way.
Wait, it put you halfway through it though.
It did.
Or, I don't know. Maybe it was more than half.
That
You
was.
know what?
I've seen somebody do that part. I need an item that I don't have.
You know what?
I don't-
Max
I
looks a
don't-
bit beat up and disgruntled, so probably go to a palate cleanser.
Yeah. Where's the cheerful article?
Oh, I thought we were gonna wait until he beats this before we go to the palate.
No, we'll be here all night.
I do real quick have to answer Sean's question from a while ago.
Hmm.
Sean, the pieces of Dracula that make him up are his rib,
Oh.
his eye,
Okay.
his heart, and his nail.
Nail?
Like his fingernail.
Nail?
I get that's what it's. Dracula's nail is the last piece. You know,
Or-
the four most essential components of a human: rib, heart, eye, nail. You got it. You got a
not
human.
Like a fang, because isn't he a vampire? Like that.
Yeah.
would make
No
more
fang.
Or
sense.
skeleton? Or
I wonder if that was like a
brain?
translation, like
Nope.
error.
not even a lung or a
It
stomach?
could be.
Like it should have probably been a fang, and instead somewhere
No,
in the
I like that.
translation-
I really hope that's the story.
Because I mean, he's a vampire. It should be a fang, right?
No, vampires
Or-
are always
it
scratching
makes
you.
sense.
Everyone knows that. Vampires
how
sneak
it-
up on
that's
you and
how
go,
they take your blood. They just
yeah,
scratch you really hard. where
give you a
can
big
skin.
scritch.
Oh no, Max.
Okay.
I
So
don't think I can go that
I don't
way.
know about you guys and your experience with hard drugs.
Good start.
I have never partaken in hallucinogens or psychedelics. I can't speak for you guys, but there
I have
was a
not
story
either.
that came out at the end of April about a army pilot who claims he was distributing LSD for religious reasons. And
Oh.
the gentleman is somebody who is a Black Hawk helicopter pilot
Go ahead.
who has recently been indicted by a grand jury for distributing LSD. Let's see. He conspired with others to distribute 10 grams or more of LSD, which I don't know. I don't know a lot about LSD, but from my understanding, is 10 grams seems like a lot, like
Sure.
a copious amount, because right, like
That sounds like a lot of
Yeah.
any drug.
one
That
little
sounds
drop,
like quite a bit.
but it's like one little drop is like enough to like.
Let you see
Take it
colors
back?
that the human eye can't naturally see.
Yes.
No, that requires lasers.
Go back and watch our previous streams.
Yeah, Brandon's just gonna keep doing callbacks.
Yes,
Always be branding.
keep doing that. Keep doing
Yes.
Marketing
Um,
in your place. I don't think I've been here yet.
that. But apparently, he was doing it online.
Okay.
What can't you do online?
I,
Oh boy, Corbin, I'm reading this article too. This starts to get wild. Have you gotten to the part where his attorney is defending him?
his attorneys are
Because I
attempting
think
to
I'm in a
fight
new
the
area.
prosecution on religious freedom grounds. They sued unsuccessfully
That's
to receive an emergency injunction that aimed to block the government from indicting him. Good lord! Like, I want to know why he was trying to was he just selling it?
Hold up.
Oh.
In the lawsuit, his attorney said he has a sincerely held belief that LSD is a sacrament which allows him to commune with God and is necessary for his
Oh, boy.
continued spiritual growth and development. He also believes Bitcoin to be sacred.
Oh, come on.
Dude,
Yeah.
I knew there was going to be some bullshit
Uh.
in here somewhere, and I dared.
I like how that's how far in you have to get, and you're like, that's actually the cherry on the bullshit cake.
like,
because it allows him to distribute the allegedly sacramental LSD to others who share his belief. Does it say what his religion is?
I like how he's scamming this religion and LSD. This is tremendous.
They're not naming the religion. They're just saying it is a religious belief that he has.
There's nothing in here that I found that specifies any particular religion. Alleged violates the Religious Freedoms Restoration Act. There's no specific religion that seems to be stated in this article.
The case turns a spotlight on the entheogenic movement, the adherents of which use psychoactive substances like hallucinogenic mushrooms, ayahuasca. It's the Aaron Rodgers religion.
Yes, or the Joe Rogan religion. Same thing.
Oh,
okay,
God.
those are your patron saints. You have bigger problems than just lawsuits. Sorry, guys.
Oh no! It does mention something in here. Today, Lake said Reister regularly attends a non-denominational Christian church. It was described his religion as a syncretic blend of Christianity and entheogenic
Doing drugs.
psychedelic use. So really, it's just
And Bitcoin.
we are under the guise of Christianity, so we can just do psychedelics and it'd be okay. Which, I honestly, I don't,
They just led with that, all right.
you call it what you want. Just say that you want to go do psychedelics. I don't care. Like, have at it.
Exactly.
Just please don't fly that Black Hawk while you've been dropping a ton of acid. Like,
Did the defense work, though?
His attorneys did say that he has never piloted helicopters while under the influence. So,
how do they know that?
I don't know. They're just that they're
can't,
defense.
like do a breath test and then be like, all right, you're good to go. Get behind the controls of that multi-million-dollar helicopter. Oh, that was a rough fall, Max.
I got all the way to the top of this building, and there's just nowhere for me to go. What?
This is good news. His wife is also a Black Hawk pilot, but had no knowledge of his LSD-related activities.
That's good.
That's probably good for their marriage.
I gotta try to find my way back to the
I have a feeling
game.
she knows now.
Yeah, maybe. It looks like the judge denied the requests to allow him to use and dispense LSD to those who share his faith.
Does he also have to use LSD to be clear-headed in court?
I'm not sure.
I hope that is true, because that would make for a pretty interesting court case.
Oh,
I'm not saying that
a plaintiff that is tripping balls while currently getting indicted by a grand jury.
I'm not saying that. I'm sure the first time you experience this drug, it's a religious experience for you. I'm sure you go on some journeys, but it's still a controlled substance, still highly illegal.
Yeah, but you got to give
feel like they
some
would come up with
credit
a more
to
creative
the
defense.
novelty of the defense.
Them wholehearted, you saying that Bitcoin is sacred in court, brother, I admire. You've got some stones on you, my friend.
Yeah.
I just want to know, how is it sacred? Sacred to what?
Because it allows him to distribute that's what he was using to purchase the LSD. So that's why it's sacred, is because it allows him to purchase and distribute his sacrament.
Maybe I've been approaching life completely wrong. I just need to start thinking everything is sacred and calling it all religious, so that way I can do whatever I want without
Correct, because then people are impeding on your freedom if they try to stop you.
Yeah, you could be a sovereign
That is
citizen,
kind of
have
how
one
it
of those
works.
license plates. And it'll be good and
that
clear.
always works out really well
Yeah.
for them, too.
Oh, I love those are my favorite videos of all time.
Substance
them
would be
getting
fun to
arrested.
cover, but
Yes.
there's nothing. It's just look how dumb this guy
so
is.
much fun.
They're like house cats.
Don't talk about house cats that way.
They
No,
think
you're
that
insulting
they're-
house cats.
Yeah.
They think they are free and independent.
been
when
there at
really
this
they
one.
actually need the society to do everything for them.
I don't know where to
the
go,
helicopter
Brandon.
pilot. Oh, sorry.
No, I'm just. I don't think I'm getting past this tonight. Nowhere close.
I feel
Well, we are past our 2-hour mark, anyways. So if you're wanting to get towards the wind down here, we absolutely can, and you can do a little
I
studying.
do.
Can you get a password?
Don't listen to Brandon. You're gonna finish this game tonight. I will be here with you.
Yeah, you have
I
one of
guess
4
I could
pieces.
get the password, huh? All right, I could
Yeah.
get the password. Let's do that. We'll do the password.
Yeah,
What?
one last piece. One last piece.
Oh, who's that? Who's
They
that?
called his
That's the guy who
This,
gave me the fire whip.
To break my spell, come back with a powerful weapon.
Does she have a powerful weapon?
Isn't
I
you have
do.
the most
He
powerful
gave it to
weapon?
me already, so
Oh,
it's just
got
spamming.
it.
Oh,
This pilot also published articles on Substack from May 2021 to June 2022, detailing his beliefs on LSD and Bitcoin.
Yeah.
oh my god.
I want to read those Substacks real bad.
Are they free?
Usually,
Oh,
well,
yeah,
Because
I don't
sometimes
know.
Substack is like a subscription service, right?
Well, they might be evidence in a grand jury case now. So.
Oh,
let's
good
get the
point.
password.
Good point.
Yep.
All right, can you just remember that off the top of your head? 'Cause
I'm
Yeah.
just gonna
I
take a
don't have to write
picture
it down.
because there's
I'm gonna
no
take
way.
a screenshot so you have a backup.
Well, I guess we'll have a stream.
It's a cool little
Shut up.
It is pretty
Shut
sweet.
up.
little screen. Yeah, I like the logo. That's pretty
Yeah,
neat.
that's pretty sweet.
I like it's
Very
like
tiny
across
photo.
the mask and waves of water or
It's,
gusts of wind. I don't
Good
know.
stuff.
Yeah.
Stream's having
it's-
some trouble? Why?
What do you mean it's having trouble?
I did have some drop frames at one
What
point.
did Dranith do to the stream?
What did you do to the stream, Granith?
I
Is
think that
LSD
the-
good for dolphins? I mean, it's
Oh no!
The one way
Don't.
to find out.
We're not covering that on this stream, Dranith.
you know
Might have
if
died.
you're out
Oh,
there
it's
snacking on pufferfish to get kind of stoned, I would imagine that LSD probably isn't that bad.
Well, there was a whole series of studies that were done by
Uh-huh.
Dr. Leary, Kevin Leary,
Kevin Leary.
theme.
Yeah, he's who developed LSD.
But didn't he? I think they did a bunch of studies on dolphins with it. I don't know. That's
No, I didn't know about that.
There was a
probably
whole
an
thing
article
called
for
the
another
Dolphin
time.
House. Just watched a video on it. It's
excellent.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Bad
Wait,
things
are
happen
they-
to those dolphins.
Oh,
Nevertheless,
Yeah.
like sad bad things, or like, oh man, we gave them a bunch of LSD and they tripped out. And it was kinda entertaining?
No, it was actually
How
they
sad
tried-
is it?
he's being
the one
very
dolphin-
cagey.
the one dolphin seems to have taken its own life.
What?
Which dolphins?
What?
Yeah, because dolphins can like control their breathing while sleeping, and this one just decided not to.
It decided
feels
not
like it needs to
or
be the
it
next
just couldn't.
Episode.
Maybe we'll cover this. Maybe we'll cover it after all. I was looking for a second article, so maybe I'll put this on mine.
Oh, good. We'll have a
Yeah, it'll
follow
be
through on
nice,
this
and,
subject.
nice and uplifting too.
Yeah.
Really.
To be fair, my other article will be I don't know if I want to call it uplifting, but it's more fun and lighthearted. So
Brandon will be covering the documentary Blackfish on the next stream.
okay, but
Let's do a
too
live
long is it
reaction
that
to
bad,
Blackfish.
guys?
Brandon watches the saddest documentaries and just sobs on our stream for hours. It's content. It's content.
I just don't participate in what everything else is going on the stream. I'm just weeping, looking at a monitor off screen.
Oh my god.
Uh,
If I wasn't part of that, I would probably tune in and watch it just out of sheer curiosity and be like, what is happening? Like, why is this man crying on stream?
for hours.
Just-
Horrors.
Oh my goodness.
Please,
All right.
please, let's do that.
Well,
We've
we
been
wanna
to some
say-
places tonight. We get a little quick synopsis.
Yeah, we talked about why people not receiving vaccinations and receiving placebos instead is a really bad idea, and how our quote leadership, again used very, very loosely,
Yep.
is bad at the HHS, and that they should not be there because people were going to get hurt and they are going to receive a lot of bad information. We also learned that social media is bad, internet is bad, and
Like
it does bad
everybody.
things to your brain. And you know what? We shouldn't use the internet unless you're gonna get onto Twitch and watch us, because then it's okay. Like that's
It's
the
the only
time.
acceptable use.
That's fair.
It's
Oh,
the
hey,
only reasonable use.
I think I see somebody
Or-
we can raid. Hold on, while you're keep going.
Or
Oh, let's.
if you are also gonna check us out on YouTube, Blue Sky, Instagram, email us at savepointsociety@gmail. Then use the internet because it's good. That's
Yeah.
good stuff.
We're
And
gonna
then-
learn you.
We learned that LSD and Bitcoin can be sacred items if you just say that they are.
That's fair.
So
Mhm.
I feel like we learned a good approach to life. Just everything is sacred and religious if you want it to be, and then nobody can take it away from you, except
Mhm.
maybe a grand jury.
Perhaps a court of law.
It sort of decided that your claims are bullshit, and they're just going to say no.
Oh, he also, the very last bit of that article was that he purchased weapons with the ill-gotten gains from his.
It just keeps getting better.
It was the gift that kept on giving. Yeah.
Oh, it's
So
amazing.
silly. So silly.
Good.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, let's
appreciate
do
you
our
guys.
first raid out because I see a friend is online. And so
Get 'em,
we'll
get 'em.
raid Ragged X, who, like Jay, was like an early friend on Twitch that when I first started kind of playing around in the platform. So looks like she's streaming some Call of Duty right now. It's been forever since I've set off a raid, so I don't know if I typed in the command correctly. I might do a very boomer just putting something into chat, but we'll figure it out. And go on over there if you like to just kind of chill, cozy gaming. Good person to follow, and just good person anyway. And she's Canadian, so it's pretty sweet. Let's go over there.
Sorry.
We're using
We're
raid.
We're raiding. 7 seconds. It was successful.
Wait.
No, there's no waiting.
Six.
Do I hit
six,
the?
Oh, 6 raiders. Okay.
Do we hit the leave button to go there?
Nope, we just go.
Oh, we just. Oh, we're on a journey.
We're on a journey.
What is it?
We're on another adventure.
We are over here.
Hey,
Okay,
we're over here.
okay.
Our audio is not live though.
Yeah.
We'll cut that down, but
Is this Verdansk?
yeah.
Oh, it is
Oh,
Verdansk.
It's music.
Oh, Verdansk. I miss. I don't know. Wait, did they bring back the original weapons from Verdansk?